Okay guys, so this is day 2 and we're starting with the lab for the VMware, and I'm going to explain what we need to do, and it's going to be a lot of steps, just a few million steps to do the lab, but yes, if we do it to understand it, then the concept will be very very clear, although I'm going to be explaining the whole theory part with diagrams, but we will have to be very sharp on that. If any one of us who needs assistance at every second, third, fourth step, then try to sit back and enjoy the show and try to understand what's going on, because there will be a recording there. So when the video is uploaded the other day, then you have one full week to do that lab at your own pace, at your own speed, and with the help of your class fellows, right? So let's go ahead and try to understand what's going on, what we need to do now. So I'm just going to open this. Okay, so the second thing is that I've created this week 1 here and week 2. Are you all able to see that in OneNote? Are you able to first of all log into OneNote, and then are you able to see that? Okay, there's a nope. And do this here. Admit. Okay.
We are not sure whether it is shared.
Sorry, you were saying? Okay.
I don't know whether it is shared.
Oh yeah. So, but you're inside the Office 365, right?
Yeah, you can log in.
Okay. So
I sent a screenshot where I'm not able to log in with both my email addresses.
oh, you're not able to log in, but in the previous class you were.
I mean, I tried to log in with my personal account and with my college account, and it says not registered. Something I said, send a screenshot to you.
When? Just now or?
Today afternoon.
Oh. Okay. So. Well. Oh. So guys, please mute your mics, and whoever wants to talk, please comment on the mic and then mute it again when it's done, or you can just put that in chat as well. Also, when you're coming on the mic, please do say your name, because I have no idea who just talked to me, so, or who was talking before. So please.
Sorry, it's Madhuri Tuplonde.
Okay, it's Madhuri. And yeah, so I was looking at chat, so you can just put the same thing there, so I would have it in writing, or I will just check your email. Obviously, now the class has started, so these things will have to, like in the break I can do that, or at the end of the class, because same as me. So Shabati is saying the same thing, that he's not able to log into portal. So guys, right now, if you're not logged into OneNote, that is not a very big deal, because these notes will be available to you anytime. Right now, it's not really compulsory that you should be logged into the OneNote. So don't worry if you're not logged in. Previous course also, some of the students were still figuring out what's going on, and they were able to be logged in after talking to technical support or understanding the process of, oh, that's how we need to log in. So try to ask your class fellows as well, hey, I'm stuck with this is a screenshot, how did you log in, because many of us were able to log in, right? So, but I'm going to tell you that as well, but now it's the class time, so let's try to understand and concentrate on topics. If you're not able to log into OneNote, it's no big deal, don't worry. You will still get the notes. Even after the class, I'll try to check that what's going on, right? Yeah, Shabina is saying, I guess the note is not shared, so I'll be sharing that too, because if in the class I started clicking this button share, so there are like 26 students, so 26 times I have to do that. That's a good half hour that we could have given to our critical topics there, right? Because I want to finish this, all the labs, we want to do all the critical labs within the course time, and that's why we need to dedicate these 4 hours to the labs, and the management related task can be done during the week. And there's a WhatsApp group now, guys, for the class. You can just put that question there. with the screenshots, oh, I'm getting this error when I'm trying to log in. So we should all be involved to help each other, right? So do not go for individual help, and I'll try to follow up as well. But the WhatsApp group and Google group are there for us to help each other, right? But right now, let's just try to. If you're not connected to OneNote, it's no big deal. Just let's go ahead. Because it is being recorded, so you will get it anyway, right? And I'll be doing the sharing and sending you the message, and then you can on WhatsApp. So this is a very quick way to connect. So I'll be sharing after the class that OneNote, and let's see who can and who cannot connect after that, right? So we're talking about the VCP-DCB. We had some introduction about that in the previous class, and okay, so there's a link there by Ruben in the chat, and so you can all see in the chat what's going on. You can try to ask that, but do concentrate on what's being taught here. So now, what we have to do. Okay, Big Rob wants to connect. I'll just do that. So what we need to do is, first of all, we are supposed to understand how we're going to go for step by step creating our lab. And it's again, you may have already remembered that there is a Einstein rule there. I no click, you no click, right? This is set with the best form of English grammar, not. So the thing is that do follow me, but whenever I say, okay, now you know what to do, just go ahead. Well, I only say that when I know that you know that. Otherwise, I won't say that. So first thing is that. Second thing is, let's connect to our let's connect to our Vcloud as well, right? And last class, we all tried that. It was dedicated to, oh, we can connect to these three major services or not. So OneNote, no big deal. Vcloud, big deal. So yes, you need to be connected to Vcloud to do the lab. But if for some reason, for a technical reason, you're not, you can just share your error on WhatsApp group. That group is created for all of us to have a quick share there. And at the start, normally the labs are slow, and people are asking, "Oh, what to do now? Oh, what to do now?" So it depends on many factors. Maybe somebody's internet connection is at that particular time slow, or somebody has a CP24 going on, and or maybe on YouTube there's a very good new movie there, trailer there, or there was a very nice cat video there on Facebook. So that's why students are distracted as well, and they don't follow the lab then. And then they're asking question, oh, what did you do just now? Oh, what did you do now? No, majority of you would, I know that you will be totally paying attention. But the thing is that we normally are slow, and we need to take everyone with us. We need to be on the same page. But if you guys are fast, we can cover more critical labs sooner. If overall our lab progress is slow, that's gonna affect our all the labs. I want to do as many labs of VMware, and there are so many there as possible, right? So this is a job-oriented course. So for the job, we need to cover as many labs with full concept, introduction, theory, and then step-by-step lab. So the more step-by-step you do the lab, the more hands-on you do, the better you will understand the technology that is so much still in demand in the market, beside the cloud courses. Okay, so what we need to understand is that we're going to be creating our basic lab here, and we're going to be talking about all the concepts while we're doing it. So basic VMware or VMware lab. So there is we need to be creating 4 machines. Why 4 machines? What's the purpose of each machine? What's the configuration of that? And why this lab? So all why, who, which, what, where, we'll be covering all that now. But the sooner we start the lab, the better, because it's advanced, it's complicated, and I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible for you. Your dedication will make it even easier for you. So let's see how dedicated you are. The previous course was really that dedicated. Okay, that just means that it's too very much dedicated, right? So okay, I came up with that just now. So anyway, we're going to be creating 4 virtual machines in our vCloud environment, virtual environment. And the what are virtual machines? Virtual machines just work like physical machines, physical servers, right? So the virtual machine, just like I would just go to that site, well, to internet, and I'll grab, suppose it's HP server or IBM server, or it's Dell server. So some of you may have seen all that, and some of you might be seeing. So the rack server pretty much looks like that. It's a full rack, and good luck picking it up alone. When I was in Scotia Bank, actually, they were throwing out some servers. So they were good ones because they got even better ones. So we all administrators got 1 or 2 servers there. So I also got one of these, and I had to pick it home. Pick it and keep. When I put it at home and started that server, so it screamed at me. Then I realized that it was so loud, but it was good. I didn't find any use of it at home because I had better machines, 32 GB RAM with in a laptop, and although it goes up to 200, 300, 400 GB RAM. So that's very well. That was a good experience to know how servers really work, and then I had to get rid of it. Uh, but the way in production environments, in the data centers, in the companies, the servers work, that's the way the virtual machines that we are about to create, they also work the same way. It's just that they need a lot of RAM, they need a lot of CPU, and they need a lot of storage. That is a fast storage, not the slow storage, right? And they need a lot of bandwidth as well. So there's a lot of things that are required. Now we're gonna try to go in a smart way to create our labs, and we're trying to. What my request is that in vCloud, please do not give your virtual machines a lot of RAM, lot of CPU, lot of hard disk space, and a lot of bandwidth, if you know how to do that. So the thing is that if you do that, it will affect all of us, right? It will affect all of us. So let's do this here. So that's why we have to make the vCloud work. So we have to make the vCloud work. Otherwise, the plan B is that our laptops must be ready. And today or tomorrow I'll be sending you the video how to configure the same environment in your laptop, right? So one of the students was asking that please send us the video so we could create this environment in our laptops. So I just wanted to first explain that in diagram here as well, that in your laptops, please create what we will create in vCloud today, right? So it will be very, very good for you in terms of job readiness and confidence on the technology, that not only you know how to configure this environment in the vCloud, but also in your laptop. So then you can create that environment in even better hardware, that is the company's data centers. If you can create it in the laptop, then you can create it in main servers as well. Well, whatever the difference is, I'll explain that too. So that is one more thing that I would say here, that in vCloud, please do not give your virtual machines a lot of RAM, a lot of CPU, a lot of hard disk. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to carry on. And again, we will all be affected with that. And obviously, the vCloud administrator will know that too, that who did it, because they're on the lookout for those who are just, not being very careful and giving a lot of RAM and CPU, and then it's affecting everyone. So obviously they will know very easily because of your ID there. So let's try to be considerate for everyone, and try to make it work for everyone to work on vCloud. So that's one of the suggestions and requests that I'm making here. And other than that, what is our plan? So the plan is that why we need 4 virtual machines. Okay. So Donald is asking privately that is the session recording. So yeah, you can you can just click everyone and then say that too. And that's a good thing that you're reminding me, because you have noticed that I have white here on my head. So this means I'm forgetting. sometimes. So definitely, please, whenever anyone says, "Hey, is this session recording?" I'm gonna always check that. Even if you say after 2 seconds now, please don't. So I'm gonna still check that, right? So that's good. Yes, it is being recorded, and so yeah, as I was saying, that there's going to be 4 virtual machines, and what are the roles of that, and why those roles? Why not something else, right? Okay, so there's a message coming in WhatsApp as well, so I have to keep an eye on the chat on WebEx and also on WhatsApp. Masood is saying, "Hi sir, may you admit me?" Oh yeah, admitted already. Okay. Then Paul is asking, any pre-installed software for today's lab? Paul, the software is there in the Vcloud already. It's just we all need to. It's available there. We'll all need to just go through those steps. But for the home lab, yeah, I still need to configure the whole email for you, for everyone, so you could download and then follow up with that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. So first machine will be your first name. So whenever I say Amir, right, that's my first name back home. Here, my first name is this. So yeah, okay, since it's in Canada, this is my first name. So if I just put here Amir, so this means this is your first name. If your first name is very long, then go for half of your first name. Well, if your half name is also very long. Okay, so anyway, just kidding. So in other colleges, there was one student. I said, "Hey, use your half name." He said, "Sir, my half name is also very long." I was like, "Really? Are you kidding me?" So then use the half of your first name, right? So if I put my first name, you will put your first name. So and then you will take screenshots. Hopefully, everyone knows how to take a screenshot. So your first name, serve01. So we don't want to make it really long name. So this will be our first machine. Your first name, serve02. So let me just put that here as well. Wherever you see my first name, Amir, then change it to your first name, right? Okay, I'll just put it in so whenever it is available for everyone. So I'll just put it here. Okay. So again, what's the role, and why these 4 machines? Why not 3 machines? Why not 10 machines? So that's why I'm just trying to first explain. And then we will have 2 Windows machines, and then we will have 2 ESXi machines as well. So your first name ESXi01 and your first name ESXi002. Right? Now here, so first machine will have several roles, right? One of them is active directory. Then second is DNS. Third is DHCP, infrastructure roles, right? Infrastructure roles. And then it's going to play the role of SAN as well, right? Software SAN, that is. So we're gonna have those roles here, and okay, so Amarjit is saying in WhatsApp, kindly add me to WhatsApp group. Okay, so adding to OneNote and adding to WhatsApp group, guys, I'll be doing that now in the break, or better at the end of the class, because let's try to concentrate on topics here. There's a long list of topics, so let's try to only concentrate on that right now. But during the week after the class, we'll follow up with that, right? So thank you, and. Let us so there's that Active Directory. Now Active Directory, pretty much everyone would know what are the main tasks of Active Directory. Anyone can tell me what are the main tasks of Active Directory, and then I'll tell you also why Active Directory here. Isn't that VMware course? This is not MCSA, right? So anyone can tell me what is the task of Active Directory? What does it do? What's the main purpose of Active Directory? Identity management. Yeah.
Store users and computer information.
Okay, store users and computer information. That is 180 for authentication purpose, authentication, authorization. Whoa, there you go. Database of all resources. Yeah, that also it does. So it does AAA, right? There's a AA battery, there's a AAA battery, right? AAA is a small size battery, AA is big. Okay, it's not that. So it is AAA, but it is, as Shabina said, and others are also saying that authentication, then it is authorization, and the third one is, well, there are two ways we can say it. One is auditing, and it is also called accounting. So it does auditing, accounting, right? Windows policy management, that's also there in the chat. So authentication, authorization, and accounting. Anyone can tell me what's the difference between authentication and authorization? Aren't they the same, or is there a difference? Other than the spelling difference, what else is the difference here?
Sir, authentication means when a user signs in, so the Active Directory will look up if the user is should be able to sign in to the network or no. And if the user is able to sign in, authorization would lead to what permissions would he have on any particular resource that he will access in the network. Say, for example, if he's unable to access a file share, so does he have that necessary kind of permissions to access that? So that is meant by authorization.
All right. Wow. Very well said. Exactly. So authentication, is this our guy or not? Authorization, okay, it's our guy, it's our employee, but you can't use this, you can't use that, you can't use that color printer, you can't use that fax, but you can use the other one that's 10 years old. So it's kind of that. So what authorization is there after authentication is done? Auditing, accounting, how much of the resources you have been using, how long have you been logged into the network, or there are logs with timestamps, the computer started, restarted, so all that kind of thing. So well, why Active Directory here? Okay, we understand. Active Directory is actually from Microsoft, isn't it? So why in VMware course? Isn't that a VMware course? So the answer to that is that VMware has its own authentication system. It does not need Active Directory for its authentication, right? So it does not need Active Directory for its own authentication and authorization. So VMware has a big application called Vcenter. Now this Vcenter is an enterprise grade application that the whole VCP course revolves around the Vcenter enterprise grade application. Just like there are big applications, you can say, well, MS Office or Visual Studio or Photoshop or AutoCAD. These are big applications, right? So there's that Vcenter, that is the main application which centrally controls the whole VMware virtual environment. This one application centrally controls the whole virtualization environment, right? So this whole course of VCP-DCV, VMware Certified Professional Data Center Virtualization, DCV is Data Center Virtualization. So that whole course revolves around all the advanced features that are being offered by this application called Vcenter, right? So we're going to be spending a lot of time on Vcenter and exploring all this its advanced features like HA, which is high availability, DRS, which is distributed resource scheduler, and fault tolerance, and vSAN, and affinity groups, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on, right? So Brahim says that Vcenter is equivalent of AD. Well, the way, the importance that is given to Active Directory in a Microsoft environment, yes, that's the same importance that is given to Vcenter in a VMware environment. So you're kind of right, but Vcenter is much more advanced than Active Directory in its environment. Vcenter does a lot more. It offers a lot more features which Active Directory does not in Microsoft environment, because there are separate roles for offering those features. Vcenter in one application offers pretty much all the advanced roles. We haven't talked about those roles yet, but HA, which is high availability, DRS, which is distributed resource scheduler, FT, which is fault tolerance. We're going to be doing full labs on those, right? We're going to be going in depth with those affinity groups, and then there is a big one, that is vSAN. So and vSAN requires actually 3 hypervisors, and which our laptops might not even support. So I have a used laptop that is powerful, that is 32 GB. So I also gave you address of that guy who sells cheap laptops, very powerful laptops, really cheap. And many of the students of previous courses and other colleges have bought from him. But otherwise, you can go for any other place. Go do your research on Kijiji, and try to upgrade your RAM as well if you want to do all the advanced labs. But if you want to survive in the field of IT, concentrate on having a good hardware first, either in the form of a desktop or a server. Servers, IBM HP servers are like $200-300. The desktops might be also $300-400. Especially go for desktop, which are workstations. Or if you have the three requirements of 32 GB RAM, i7 quad-core processor, and 500 GB minimum SSD, so you're good already. And then otherwise laptop. So that address is also there in the Google group. And also, so what we're talking about is the vCenter, HADRS, FT, affinity groups, vSAN, and the list goes on and on and on. But vCenter, understand one thing, vCenter is an enterprise grade application that centrally controls the whole VMware virtual environment, right? So I'll try to put that here. We're going to be installing vCenter on center, will be installed on your first name server 02, and that, or serve 202, and so vCenter is an enterprise grade central application. Why am I using this central word so many times? So great application that offers centralized control of all VMware environment. When we say environment, what do we include? For example, I.E, that it controls also all virtual machines, all hypervisors. We are going to talk about that too, and all network and storage. So pretty much every aspect of that is handled by the central application called vCenter. Okay, so if I look at the chat here, so Ryan is saying vCenter is an OS or a software that can be installed on another OS. So as I said, that it is an enterprise grade application, right? So this means it's not an OS. So yes, it is not an OS. vCenter enterprise grade application can be installed on top of either a Windows operating system or on a Linux one. So it's an application, it's not an OS, right? Okay, so this application vCenter will be installed on the second machine, right? So why I went to the second machine right away, I was saying that all the authentication and authorization for the VMware environment is actually available in vCenter. Then what's the use of installing Active Directory here? First of all, we're using Windows machines here, and the Windows machine needs to be authenticated by its own Active Directory authentication system. Second thing is that there is just one lab that requires that vCenter needs to be in collaboration with Active Directory. Why? Suppose you have done the VCP course, you have done the certification as well, and you are looking for a job. You've done all the AWS, Azure, Office 365, VMware, all certifications, and some security certifications as well. Now you're looking for a job, and you got the job, and they have VMware environment. So when you join the job, they will create your account, user account in Active Directory, right? But your Active Directory user account will be able to log in from vCenter. Your specialty is actually VMware, but they will say, hey, you will handle our Microsoft environment as well as VMware environment and the cloud as well. Actually, they're gonna handle pretty much everything to you. They want to pay only one guy and not 20 guys for 20 things. One guy for 20 things, right? They need a superhuman for that. So Active Directory, you will handle Microsoft environment. So your user account will be created in Active Directory, but it will also be able to log into Vcenter, and it will actually be able to handle all the advanced features of VMware as well. So that's very strange that, hey, isn't this account created in Microsoft Active Directory, and it has all the rights to not only log into the application called Vcenter, but it has all the privileges, rights and privileges to handle all the advanced features of VMware as well. So there's one lab where how to connect Vcenter to Active Directory. After that, yes, any Microsoft Active Directory user account not only can be added to Vcenter application, but it can be given highest privileges to control all the environment there. Otherwise, you can just create user accounts directly in the Vcenter application as well. Just like if some of you have used Oracle or SQL Server databases, so you can just create user accounts inside SQL Server as well, right? Good. So that's where. So one lab is there. Suppose I don't install Active Directory at all here. Yes, we can still have a Vcenter lab with all the advanced features installed there without having Active Directory at all as well. But we're installing Active Directory because in production environments in the companies you will have Active Directory there as well. So you should know that how they both work together, although they are totally different vendors. Microsoft Active Directory, VMware, Vcenter, right? So now on the first server, as we were talking about, there will be Active Directory for authentication, authorization, accounting. So the second machine could also get authenticated from the first machine. Second machine is also Microsoft operating system there. So OS here is Windows, right? So it's gonna be Win. So it's gonna be win-win situation, right? No, it's not win-win. It's Windows operating system, and that's why we need Active Directory. Oh, suppose you say no. I'm a Linux expert and I want to run everything in Linux. Can I do that? Oh yes, you can. So you can have a totally non-Microsoft environment, and on that you can install Vcenter as well, right? So there are two types of Vcenter applications, two ways you can deploy it: Microsoft way and Linux way. So when we come to Vcenter, obviously we're going to talk about both ways in detail. But right now, understand that the first machine will have Active Directory. That's the first infrastructure role that's providing authentication, authorization, and accounting to the second machine. This is also providing a very critical. So I said four veries here, right? So very critical role here, that is DNS. And DNS offers, now that's going to be easy. So may I ask you, just like in an interview, how would you answer in an interview? Can you tell me what is DNS? Okay, your turn. Anyone?
Sir, DNS does the name IP to name resolution. Basically, IP to name, domain name resolution. That's the task of DNS, domain name server.
Okay, so it does name resolution. Yep. Okay, so exactly as you said, and the thing is, yeah, in the interview you can say that it's a name resolution protocol. It resolves host names to IP addresses and IP addresses to host names, right? So you just say this much, and yeah, the interviewer will say, oh yeah, okay, you understand. So let's go for next question. So yes, and what you said exactly is great. So it resolves host names. It's a name resolution protocol. It resolves host names to IP addresses and IP addresses to host names, right? Always say everything with confidence. Even when I was taking interviews in one company, so people were saying wrong things but with confidence. So I was appreciating their confidence, and the concept was wrong but very confidently said. So I corrected them that okay, your confidence is there, which is very good, but if you're with confidence, if you're doing implementing the configurations which are wrong, so then the boss will also be very confidently firing you as well. So the thing is that yeah, it should be correct knowledge but with confidence. So that's very good. So DNS, yes, pretty much it's name resolution. So if you want to access the VMware hypervisors by name, and it's not if, in a large environment you must access the VMware hypervisors by name, so you need to have a DNS. Either you can install a DNS on a Linux machine, or you can install a DNS on a Microsoft machine, but DNS has to be there, right? So domain name system or name resolution. So otherwise you can access these hypervisors by IP as well, right? But suppose you have IP addresses. Suppose you have 200 hypervisors. It's a big environment. So one hypervisor is in New York data center. Second hypervisor is in Toronto data center. So, but they are just having IPs. So you won't really remember every time that which IP is in New York data center, which is in Toronto data center. So if you give them name, so Tor, so suppose ESXi01.tor dot whatever the company name is, humber.local. So you would know, and then there's a ESXi2.ny.humber.local. So just by name you would know, oh, that ESXi2 is in New York and ESXi1 is in Toronto because I name it that way. So if you want the naming to work, you need to have DNS there, and it better be working, right? So definitely this is what we're going to install on the first machine. Then there is DHCP. Obviously when we create virtual machines, it would need DHCP, although these 4 critical machines, so whatever is critical should not be given IPs from DHCP. Whatever is critical should not be. Whatever resource is a critical resource should not be given IPs from DHCP. Because DHCP goes down, that resource also goes down. So that's why we're going to give static IPs to all of these machines. Static, 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 static. So those IPs that we manually put are static IPs, right? So we're going to be giving static IPs, but then why DHCP? Because whatever virtual machines we ultimately install on top of a hypervisor, then that machine would require a DHCP, so we're going to give that DHCP IP address. So DHCP IP, so DHCP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, it automatically provides IP addresses to any resource that requires an IP addresses, right? So we don't have to manually then go there if DHCP is there. I hope everyone knows that. So that DHCP will be automatically providing an IP address to our client resource. Suppose you have 200 servers and 10,000 Windows 10 machines, right, in an environment. So Windows 10 machines will all get IP from DHCP, while 200 servers, we're going to be manually going to each server and put static IP there, which never changes unless we change it. So because every critical resource must have static IP addresses, the IP that does not change, or that the IP that does not depend on DHCP, right? So non-critical resources you can give IP from DHCP. So here on the second server, we're going to be installing Vcenter, and okay, so I was going to write here, or okay, let me just write here, hypervisor. So that's going to be a hypervisor, and what's the hypervisor? It's the ESXi hypervisor. That's what we're going to be installing on this these 2 machines. So well, then I'm going to come back to SAN, but what are these 2 hypervisors? Why 2 hypervisors then? Okay, so there's a question there from Ifani. So please, we are going to install the 4 servers in the Vcloud MSI-201. Yes. So if any, we're going to be installing that on Vcloud MSI-201. Exactly. Okay. So guys, let's understand what are we doing and why.
Syed Ruben here. So all these 4 servers will be on a hypervisor.
Okay. Again, sorry.
Ruben, all these 4 servers will be on a hypervisor.
No. So for now, we're going to be creating Vcloud, and then we're going to be creating these small machines in our Vcloud. So yeah, guys, we're going to be going to the lab, and please do not do something which I haven't done yet, right? So we're going to be doing it step by step together. So do not go ahead of me, otherwise you will understand the hard way that you shouldn't have gone ahead of me, because the way I'm going to do that, we're going to be building our environment, and then we're going to be building on top of that more complicated configuration. So if your base is wrong, you won't go far, right? So, and then ultimately you have to follow my steps, and then you would lose time as well. So don't go ahead of me and don't assume anything, right? So oh, he's gonna install this is, oh, he's gonna install this is. Yes, but I could customize, right? And because of those customizations, the future more complicated configurations can be installed easily. And if you hadn't followed what I was doing, you might not be able to get the full working environment with more complicated configurations, right? So I'm going to be creating those 4 machines in Vcloud. But guys, the thing is, I'm taking time to explain all this. It might be boring to you, to some of you, but what will you say in the interview if you haven't understood here what we're doing, right? So click is not the purpose of doing this course at all. Click is the second most important thing. First most important thing is, do we understand what we're doing, right? If we don't understand and we have done the full lab, click, done, yay! What did you do? It's something to do with VMware, right? And that's it. So congratulations, the whole 4 hours wasted, right? So the thing is, do we know what we're doing? And then we can take our time to do it as well. Okay, so and for job-oriented course, if we understand, we can talk a lot in the interview as well. Okay, guys. So here we're going to be going for hypervisors, ESXi, and yes, the questions that I was just seeing there, they were asked maybe because I just created a virtual machine thing here. So suppose we can create a lot of virtual machines here, but no, we're not gonna create these 4 virtual machines in a hypervisor. That is being provided. There's a platform provided by Humber, and that platform is called Vcloud. Vcloud. And that platform, on top of that, we're going to be creating our virtual machines. In fact, since that question is being asked, and we're about to do that, so Vcloud, and then we're inside that we will be creating our VApp. So what is VApp? So obviously I'm going to be explaining that too. But this Vcloud and VApp is going to be what we're going to be using there. So no, we're not going to be deploying it on top of a hypervisor. We're going to be installing it on top of Vcloud, which is and inside VApp. So what is VApp? I'm going to explain that too. So but once we do install these 4 machines in a Vcloud, even inside those machines we can create more machines. So that is called nested virtualization, right? Nested virtualization. So nexted. Seriously, did I say nested? Nested. Okay. So nested virtualization, which means that virtual machine inside virtual machine, right? So that's there was a movie there was a dream inside dream inside dream. So it was the craziest one of all movies. I think there was Leonardo DiCaprio, right, in that. Okay, anyway, so yeah, nested virtualization is virtual machine inside virtual machine. So yeah, so we remember that movie, right? So what was the name of that movie? Okay, anyway, so that will be Inception. I was gonna say there will be 5 marks whoever guessed that, but now since it was said already, so I'll just take back that. I haven't said that, so no marks for that now, right? Okay, anyway, so Inception. So definitely that was a cool movie. So but that explains that it's nested virtualization, where we're gonna install virtual machines inside virtual machine, and that's gonna be the same thing in your laptops as well. And I'm gonna seriously follow up with you guys now from now on. That in the laptop we need to create the environment. I just want you to be together first, because many of you might not be able to do that. So half of the class is done on laptop and half of the class is not. So that's not really a situation that I want to go to, right? So are we a team? If we are a team, we need to help each other to get their laptops have the VMware already. So I'm just gonna give you a few steps first. Hey, install this first in your laptops. Once everyone is confirming me, yes, I have done these steps, then I'm gonna release the second video. You can go for the second video as well, and the third video. So and we will all be helping each other, right? Hopefully you have installed TeamViewer in your laptops as well. Okay, so nested virtualization we're talking about, and this is going to be our 2 hypervisors. Then why 2 hypervisors? Because we need to do some crash test. Whoa, that's dangerous thing. Crash test, really? So crash test means that if our virtual, when we are going for HA, or when we are especially going for FT, fault tolerance, right? Fault tolerance is that there's an active machine here and there's a passive machine here. So if we lose the whole hypervisor here where the active machine was working, so it will fail over it, whatever services were running there, to the passive machine. and all the end users which were connected to the active machine here will be reconnected or redirected to the passive machine, and they won't even see the change, or they will be, the screen for the end user will be frozen for like 2-3 seconds, and then they'll start working again, not knowing that in the background the whole physical server went down, right, and taking down their active machine as well. But there was a partner machine that was copying any changes and every changes synchronously, or right away it was copying everything, so it can fail over. So we're going to do that lab. That's why we need 2 hypervisors minimum to do that. Only the vCen advanced lab needs actually 3 hypervisors, and good luck to us that if we can do that too. Previous course students were also smart, just like you guys are. They tried their best to go for 3 hypervisors in a 16 GB environment, which is brutal, because well, when you realize that how much RAM is required for these 4 machines, then you will realize, oh man, I wish I had a laptop with 24 GB RAM or 32 GB RAM. But anyway, that's only just one lab that will be affected, and I can show you the demo for that here in my laptop. So my suggestion again and again is that try to get that good hardware sooner. And that's going to be your career investment. You will really take benefit of it for a long time. Okay, so we're talking about the 2 hypervisors. So 2 machines will have the E6i hypervisors, and when we're going to install that, so we're going to understand that, oh, what is hypervisor? So in fact, the question comes from here: is there a difference between an OS and a hypervisor and a hypers, or what is the difference between an OS and a hypervisor? Anyone?
OS is beneath the hypervisor, and hypervisor is acts as a platform that supports the VMware. Hypervisor acts as a bridge between the OS and the VMwares. So when we want to install various VMwares, we need a hypervisor beneath it. So hypervisor acts as a bridge between the OS and the VMwares.
Okay.
Hypervisor acts as a bridge between the OS and the resources.
Yeah, resources. Yeah, VMware. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
So
in layman terms,
And it's on the top of the resource. We install hypervisor on a hardware. So on the top of hypervisor, we'll be installing the OS, virtualizing the resources, and
okay.
I think an operating system would be installed on bare metal, and on top of the operating system when it is installed, a hypervisor when it sits on top of the OS, it will provide a virtual environment for each and every different machine, so that it the system that will sit on top of the hypervisor will assume that it has NIC card of its own, it has memory of its own, so it is virtualizing all the hardware components of the actual machine for that virtual machine.
Okay. Wow. So, the 3 who said that, yes, that's a very good thing that you took part. And also, those who are not on mic, you can just say in the chat as well. If you know what I'm talking about and you have the answer, you can just put in the chat as well, and also on the mic as well. So I really appreciate your input. And yes, you guys are good. So if I say that there's a true or false answer there, so true or false. So again, true or false, right? When I say true or false, in one class I said that true or false. So 2 students who were like, maybe they were on Facebook or they were on YouTube. So I said true or false. So both of them said false. I haven't even asked the question, and they were saying so then I realized that they were not in the class and they just said false, right? So then I said, okay, let me ask the question first. What is the question? So anyway, so true or false is that OS and hypervisor are exactly the same thing. So is it true or is it false? So Khalid says false. Okay, Firoz says false. Khalid says false. If any says false. Shabina says false. Oh, that's a lot of falses. So yeah, yes and no. So Youngton says Yes and no. Hey, so somebody said yes. We got a winner here. So, well, it's Youngton. It's just no and no. But if well, it's kinda if you want to say don't say that because then it's going to be confusing for everyone else, right? So it's just no and no. So hypervisor is a software which installs on physical machine and allows virtualization. Exactly. So now there are 4 physical machines. Now, first of all, well, there are 2 types of hypervisors as well. So we're going to talk about that hypervisor 1 and hypervisor 2, right? There are 2 hypervisors. First of all, weren't you asking that, wasn't I asking that hypervisor and OS, what's the difference? Yes, I'm going there, right? So we have hypervisor on host OS, then guest OS on hypervisor. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Olufemi says that. And Kavita says, yeah, hypervisor is a software. So guys, what is hypervisor 1? It installs directly on top of a bare metal machine slash server. So bare metal machine means that there is nothing installed on that, or no OS is installed, no software. You just purchase that machine. It's an empty machine, and you directly install a hypervisor on top of that, right? So that's it is used in professional environments. It is used in data centers, and gives best performance. And hypervisor 2 is it is installed on an OS for training purpose, right? So after putting that, so it's if it is installed on OS, so for a training purpose, so definitely it's not used in professional environments. It's not used in data centers, obviously, and it is slow, right? So my question to you, true and false again. Now that VMware workstation that we have in our that we can install in our laptops is hypervisor 1. True or false? VMware workstation on our laptops that we will install or we have installed is hypervisor 1. True or false? So, well, that's a lot of false as well. Oh, there's a no as well. So this means it is not false. It's just no. Okay, just kidding. So, okay, yeah. So definitely you're right. VMware Workstation installs on top of an operating system. So this means it's a hypervisor 2, right? It's meant for training environment. We will all be installing VMware Workstation on our laptops, or we may already have it there. There's a virtual box there from I think Oracle. Yeah, that is also training for a training environment, right? So yes. So hypervisor 1, ESXi would be the hypervisor 1. So when we say hypervisor 1 here, so then Microsoft. So if we go for the top hypervisors in the environment, first of all, again, I should have actually explained more about OS is different, hypervisor is different. What is the one job of hypervisor? Okay, if I ask it in this way, what is the one job of a hypervisor? One job, one main job. What does it do? Hosting, yes. Hosting who? Virtualize hardware, yes. Okay. Host and manage the VM. There you go. If any says that, host and manage the VM. That's the one main job of hypervisor. Host virtual machines. So, well, I'll just make that space here. Hypervisor hosts virtual machines. If we keep it simple, it does, then there's a lot of explanation for that too. But if we keep it simple, it just clarifies our concepts right away that a hypervisor hosts virtual machines. That's it. Right? So, host and manage the virtual machine, resource sharing, exactly. So, hypervisor hosts virtual machines while OS, what does OS do then? Any words for OS that are not for hypervisor? Yes, a whole OS can also host VMs if it has a hypervisor on top of that. So just the OS cannot host virtual machines. OS must have a hypervisor still to host VMs. So again, the job of hypervisor is back. OS offers all the roles like DNS. OS is like a just like a car driver, just like a software that is running a very complicated virtual a machinery that it is just doing a lot of things. Operating system is operating a system. If we play with the words, what does operating system means? Operating system that is operating a system. What is a system? This is a system. It has sound card. It has display card. Display adapter, right? Sound adapter, network adapter. It has CPU. It has RAM. It has storage. It has and then all these devices there. So operating system operates a full system, including hypervisor. But what does hypervisor do? One job: host virtual machines. I don't care where it's DNS. I don't care where it's DHCP. I don't care what you have. But if you don't have all the other roles, that's not my concern. My concern is I need to host virtual machines. On top of that virtual machines, whatever you want to put, go ahead, put that, right? On top of the virtual machines, yes, put an operating system, and that operating system will offer you pretty much all the roles: DNS, DHCP. So all the software, all the all the hardware, it lets you control, including a hypervisor, which is a software. But OS is a multi-role software. Hypervisor is main role is hosting virtual machines and translate the requests of virtual machines. Hey, virtual machine needs to use the RAM, so the hypervisor will translate it for the virtual machine. Okay, yeah, you need RAM. Okay, I'll let you use the RAM of hardware. Oh, you need CPU. I will let you use the CPU. Oh, you need CD-ROM or DVD, host DVD. Oh, you need the network card. Okay, I'll just let you use that. So hypervisor kernel just takes all the messages of your virtual machine, whatever they need, and fulfills their need with the hardware, whichever section of hardware they need to. So OS offers all the roles like DNS, DHCP, etc., etc. So it's so operating system, it operates the whole software and hardware system, and it offers multiple roles. Virtual machines has just one purpose: host virtual machines. So Ibrahim is asking then, okay, so there are many comments there. So resource sharing, but can also host VM applications. Host hypervisor itself, yeah, provides the interface. Shavin is saying provides the interface between user apps and the hardware. Yes. Brahim says we can install hypervisor on VM workstation. Yes, we can install hypervisor on VM workstation. In fact, that's what you're going to do in your laptop. So you're going to install ESXi inside VMware workstation. Hypervisor inside hypervisor again. So FEN says operating system is system software that manages computer hardware software resources. Yes, exactly. So there's a big difference there. Hypervisor main purpose is hosting virtual machines, and so then we're talking about hypervisor 1, hypervisor 2, and hypervisor 1 will be fast because it's a very small software. It has a very small footprint, right? So hypervisor 1, it is a small software, right? Very small footprint, right? So we are talking about hypervisor and hypervisor 2, and we understand that, oh, okay, so hypervisor 1 is more toward professional use of there's a professional use of hypervisor 1, while hypervisor 2 is just for training environment. Okay, so what else? Okay, so I'll just put that information here. Later I'll share it with you. So right now, if you understand that, so what I was gonna just draw here is, if you have an OS here, which is either Linux or operating, Microsoft, and then you have hypervisor here. So what's how would you use that? So OS will be installed on the whole drive here. Second thing, on top of the OS, either you will put an application here, right? And this application could be MS Office. This application could be this application could be MS Office, or it could be Photoshop. or it could be AutoCAD. Maybe you've heard about those applications there, right? And it could also be a Hypervisor 2. It can only be Hypervisor 2. It cannot be Hypervisor 1, right? It can only be Hypervisor 2 training software, right? So, but Hypervisor, when you get a Hypervisor here, so there you install VM1 on top of that. That's all what you can do. And VM2 and VM3. So it depends on your hardware. So on top of Hypervisor, it hosts only virtual machines. So when the virtual machines are here, what do you do with that? So so this one virtual machine can do what this whole one physical server is doing. So you can have still an OS here and then apps. So last class also we discussed that, right? So and apps there, right? So then you can have this OS and apps, but that's the difference between OS and apps, OS and Hypervisor. That Hypervisor can accommodate virtual machines. Inside virtual machine, whatever one full physical server is doing, this is what one virtual machine can do. So you don't need the full physical server with just one OS and a couple of applications. You can do all that with, you can achieve all that with one virtual machine. Second virtual machine doing exactly what this one full physical server plus OS and application was doing. Third virtual machine can do the same thing. So that's how. So this is Hypervisor 1 and that is Hypervisor 2. So this is Hypervisor 1. And there's Hypervisor 2 on top of an operating system. So operating system needs a lot of RAM, needs RAM and CPU and hard storage. For its own working, it needs more RAM, CPU, and storage, right? So OS will always be slow if you put a hypervisor on top of that and then you put virtual machines on top of that. So for its own working, OS needs more RAM, more CPU, more storage. But that's not the case with Hypervisor 1. Hypervisor 1 itself is a very light software. So it needs less RAM and less CPU. For its own working, Hypervisor needs very less RAM, CPU, and storage. Why? The whole rest of physical RAM, physical CPU, physical storage is shared by the virtual machines, right? So that's why Hypervisor is a small software. It has a very small footprint. It only hosts virtual machines, and all the virtual machines, they will have virtual RAM. Each virtual machine will have what? Virtual RAM and virtual CPU and virtual storage. So that they will all be given virtual RAM, virtual CPU, and virtual storage, and each virtual machine. So they will have a share from the physical RAM. The first virtual machine and the second virtual machine also is asking for its share of the same physical RAM. The third virtual machine is asking also for the same physical RAM. Hey, give me some RAM for my own use as well. This one is SQL Server. Now in last class we discussed that too. This one is file server. This one is web server. So in that case, you have to have a lot of RAM to share between physical RAM to share between three virtual machines, and they will also be sharing this CPU. Hey, give me some CPU. Also this one. I also have a lot of users. Give me some CPU. I also have a lot of requests there. Give me a CPU and storage also. They will also be sharing from the physical storage that is there. But you can have multiple virtual machines, and why that is possible? You have Hypervisor 1. That is, professional companies all use Hypervisor 1. And Hypervisor 2 is nowhere there in professional companies. This is in our training environment now, right? Okay, Ibrahim says Hypervisor 2 as VM. Hypervisor 2 as VM. So Hypervisor 2 is a software, right? It's an application, we can say. It's an application. For operating system, it's an application. You install, just like you install MS Office, you install Hypervisor 2 as well. VMware Workstation is what? An application, right? So inside that, yes, you can install a virtual machine. So inside that, it will look like this then. There's one virtual machine here. There's a second virtual machine here. There's a third virtual machine, but these virtual machines will have very less CPU and RAM available when they do ask for that, right? So why? Because a lot of CPU and RAM is being utilized by the OS itself and by other applications as well. MS Office needs a lot of RAM, Photoshop, so virtual machines will be having. So professionally, you cannot use Hypervisor 2 then, right? You can only use Hypervisor 1 in professional environments where it's for its own need. It doesn't need a lot of RAM. It gives everything else in terms of hardware resources to the virtual machines, and that's what really is required in the virtualization environment, right? And then Kavita says, can we install Hypervisor 2 on Hypervisor 1? Well, we can flip it, Kavita. So inside Hypervisor 2, we can install Hypervisor 1, yes. But inside Hypervisor 1, then you have to install a virtual machine. Then you install an OS. Then on top of the OS, you can install Hypervisor 2, yes. Directly on Hypervisor 1 here, you cannot install anything. It just hosts virtual machines. You can't install any application directly on Hypervisor 1. You can't, right? So it just knows, oh, there's a virtual machine. Okay. Oh, MS Office you can install directly on Hypervisor 1? No way. There is no way you can install an application directly on a Hypervisor 1, right? So they just host virtual machines. That's all they do, right? Inside virtual machines, install anything, deploy anything, right? Then Paul says, so it's cost efficient to go with Hypervisor 1 since we have multiple VMs. Exactly, Paul. That's it. So it's very cost efficient and it's fast. This is the performance. So the main major thing that we're getting from here is and that's what every company really require, and without that none of the company can actually survive, is performance. So well, there's security as well, but performance. You get really all virtual machines are getting a lot of RAM, CPU, and storage for their working, so they're performing fast. And suppose some of the applications are actually earning your company millions of dollars. That application you cannot afford to it to be degraded performance or they go down. So it's the performance that Hypervisor 1 offers with a lot of cost efficiency, because you're cutting cost by kicking out all the hardware. Yes, it is cost effective as well. Okay. And Brian says, so we can install E6i in Windows such as software. Yeah. So, oh well, Brahim says, can we install ESXi? No, Brahim, when it comes to ESXi, first you have to have, so I have a laptop here with Windows 10 installed. You have a laptop there with Windows 10 installed. Everyone has that, right? So you have a Windows 10 on top of that. Then you need a Hypervisor 2 like VMware Workstation. Then you can create a virtual machine inside. Then you can install ESXi inside that virtual machine. So you cannot install ESXi directly on an OS. You need a Hypervisor 2 first. Inside, create a virtual machine. Then install Hypervisor in ESXi in top of, inside that. But yes, you can. So, but this is the way. Then Olufemi says, is there an OS before Hypervisor 1? Before Hypervisor. So, well, Olufemi, actually that Hypervisor 1 from VMware. So VMware's Hypervisor is so VMware Hypervisor is ESXi, or we can say VMware Hypervisor 1 is ESXi, right? And yes, ESXi is made up of SUSE Linux Enterprise Edition till vSphere 6.0. Now VMware vSphere, so VMware vSphere 6.5, 6.7 and newly released 7.0 all are on proprietary OS called Photon. So VMware ESXi Hypervisor was created on SUSE Linux, so it was on Linux, yes. But then till 6.0, we're on 6.5, right? So 6.5, 6.7, 7.0 are all proprietary OS called Photon. So VMware came up with their own. That is also part Linux and part their own code. So basically, it's still living on top of an Linux environment. So Olufemi, that's a very good question. Yeah. So from Khalid Ibrahim, since it uses less resources, in which level we can manage the clustering and data migration and heartbeats and this stuff? Yes, because it uses less resources, so that's why on Hypervisor 1, Hypervisor 1 is ESXi, right? Hypervisor 1 for VMware is ESXi. So the name of the Hypervisor 1 by VMware is ESXi, right? So yes, that's why, because it runs fast, it has good performance, it can offer all the advanced features. Olufemi says, is there an OS before? Oh, okay, we did that. If any says that, so this means if someone has unlimited storage and server hardware, we can sell virtual machines to the public. Yes, yes. If any, yes, you can. We can actually sell it as well. This is called private cloud that you can sell. Suppose I purchase 5 or 10 servers like this, and in my home basement, right? And then I install on it very good virtualization software. Then I can actually tell clients, hey, you can remotely connect to my home servers and you can create virtual machines, and I'll charge you this much monthly, and I will maintain it for you, and they will always be highly available. They will never go down. So yes, we can do business on that. And Ajibola says that Hypervisor 1 is installed on bare metal, right? Yes. Yeah. Hypervisor is directly on a bare metal machine. Okay, so that's a good discussion, but hopefully we understand what we're talking about here. And so VMware's Hypervisor is ESXi. Hypervisor 1 we're talking about, right? So Microsoft's Hypervisor 1 is Microsoft Hypervisor 1 is what? Anyone knows the name of that? Yes, Hyper-V. Citrix Hypervisor 1 is? Anyone knows? Citrix Hypervisor 1 is? Zen Server. Okay, Red Hat Linux Hypervisor 1 is? Anyone knows? So Zen app is no, Zen Server is the hypervisor. Zen app is application virtualization software. Zen app is not hypervisor. Zen Server is hypervisor. Okay. Himan says OpenStack. The Red Hat Hypervisor 1 is KVM. Right? So, but these are the hypervisor ones from different companies. The top 3 are these. VMware is the top.
Hey, Sayed, isn't the OpenStack also the hypervisor from Red Hat?
So OpenStack is like, it's mainly for the cloud, and you can create private cloud in that, and you can download that software onto your hardware and offer virtual machine, virtual storage, virtual networking. Yes, it works like a hypervisor. It's not a hypervisor. It's a software that that offers private cloud. So if you have worked on AWS, Azure, so OpenStack is just like that, but you have to install our software. Yes, it gets installed, and the whole concept is like a hypervisor. But Red Hat Linux hypervisor is KVM, like the actual hypervisor. Like if you have used ESXi before, so just like OpenStack, you're saying there's an Azure stack as well from Microsoft Azure. So that's a cloud software. So, and yes, the concept pretty much seems the same, that it offers private cloud, but it's mostly not considered as that hypervisor.
But it is the private cloud, right? Or
Yes.
the AWS or others are the public one.
Yeah, so Azure also has Azure Stack, just like Linux has OpenStack. So Azure has Azure Stack, and also AWS has also that, but it's not AWS Stack. They call it different. But this is software that you can download on and create a private cloud. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Cool. And here, so we talked about then which are the best hypervisors in the market. And this is something for the interview also know, but pretty much whatever we are discussing, you should know for the interview. So I'm just gonna put that here, that discussion as well. So hypervisor 1, hypervisor 2, and in hypervisor 1, okay, now types of hypervisor 1 in the market. It's pretty much the name, so I'll just put it like that so you can understand when I share it with you. Alright guys, so we talked about hypervisors. It's not an operating system, and professional hypervisors, they are installed on direct hardware, and they're not installed on an OS. If you install a hypervisor on an OS, then it's not a hypervisor 1, it's a hypervisor 2, and that's just for training purpose, right? Is hypervisor 2 the actual categorization? Yes, Anthony. So there's a hypervisor 1 and hypervisor 2. So you can confirm with Google University. But yes, these are the main categorizations there. Okay. So here, if we have confirmed about this, that hypervisor 1 is this, okay, it's installed. So when we go back to our diagram, so we're gonna have here which hypervisor? So we're installing here which one? Hypervisor 2, right? It is hypervisor 2 that we're gonna install directly inside our virtual machine because it's gonna be bare metal, right? Is it true or is it false? We're gonna be installing ESXi. So is it gonna be 2 or 1? Right? Okay, so yeah, that question I should not have asked because it's kind of confusing in our environment. So it will be 1. ESXi is never 2. ESXi is not a training software. ESXi is a professional software that only installs on a bare metal machine. If the name is ESXi, we're talking about hypervisor 1 here. If the name is VMware Workstation, it is hypervisor 2, right? Training purpose. So ESXi is never, it's directly installed on a bare metal machine. So yeah, that's what I want to clarify a bit more. Whenever you name, oh, you're installing ESXi, so you cannot install it directly on an operating system. You have to have an empty machine to install it on. It has to be an empty machine. No operating system can be used to install a hypervisor 1, right? So it will be hypervisor 1 here. So when we talk about ESXi, so yeah, we're going to create first machine, we're going to install operating system Windows, and we're going to install Active Directory DNS Dhcp there, and then the second operating system will be Vcenter, that is dedicated for our central enterprise application, big application called Vcenter. It's a beast, it's a big application. So and then we're going to install the third machine Hypervisor 1 and the fourth machine Hypervisor 1. So it will have a very small software installed in the third machine, which is ESXi01, and the fourth machine, which is ESXi02. And this small software we can remotely connect from. So we can remotely connect from any of the windows here, and we can see inside. Once you remotely connect to that from a hypervisor, from a browser. So suppose you're in Windows machine here, right? Suppose you've installed ESXi already. So what you can do is, if you want to manage the hypervisor 1 software that gets installed directly on a bare metal, if you want to manage it, so you can go to another machine and open a browser like Chrome. Actually, we're going to use Chrome or Internet Explorer or Edge. And then just type http s if you have a certificate, otherwise ://ESXi or your first name, whatever the name you gave there, ESXi01, or the IP. If you or IP, right? Address. So if you put that in a browser, so you will be able to remotely manage any hypervisor. We're going to do all that, right? But just telling, once you install a hypervisor in a bare metal machine, you can directly log into it as well. But if you want to manage it from graphical user interface or GUI, you have to remotely connect from any of the Linux desktops or Windows desktops if you know the IP and if you can ping the IP, if you're in the same network, then you can remotely connect inside. So once you connect inside, you can create, you can just configure virtual machines, you can configure storage, you can configure networking, right? You can configure all that once you remotely connect to that. Then, well, you can pretty much configure. So this is like, if you're a small company, you have just 2 hypervisors. You have just maybe 10 machines, 20 machines here, right? A small company. So then you don't need to purchase Vcenter application because that's expensive. License is very expensive, right? Although there's Vcenter Essentials, that is for small companies. So centrally, you want to control properly everything, you can purchase Vcenter. Otherwise, some companies I know, they only have hypervisors. They didn't bother to purchase Vcenter because it's expensive. So they remotely connect, the administrator remotely connect to one hypervisor and handle virtual machine, then the second hypervisor, then the third hypervisor, then the fourth hypervisor, and that's all, right? Yes, we can. Olufemi is saying, can we connect also with SSH? Yes, we can connect from SSH, and we can run commands as well. ESXi shell or power CLI. Those are the 2 ways we can connect by the command line. Brahim says, is it vSphere client that we use to remotely connect to? Yes, from the browser you can connect, and from ESXi. So there's a vSphere client, that is a software, vSphere client. What is that? It's a software that you install on Windows or Linux and or Mac, through this software you can also remotely connect to hypervisor or to the vCenter as well, right? So vSphere client is a separate software, while you can, if you know the address, you can connect to the browser. That is called web client. So just like you install MS Office, so vSphere gets installed just like that. Next, kill it, finish. Or you can directly, from any browser, you can connect to the hypervisor as well. Okay guys, so we've been talking about all the roles here, and why are we installing that? So we need 2 hypervisors because we need to test a lot of high availability and disaster recovery features. That's why we need to have 2 hypervisors. And then we also need to have a SAN. So we need to have a storage area network of our own. Okay. So Kavita is asking, can you explain the vSphere again? So vSphere, when we talk about vSphere, so vSphere is a marketing term. It is a flagship set of products. It's a line of products that are mentioned under the name vSphere. So vSphere, VMware. So if I just go for some names here that normally VMware takes. So vSphere is a marketing term for a set of products or suite of products, you can say. So VMware, vSphere, Vcenter. Wow, that's a lot of V. So Center. And then the next product name, you will see that whatever in VCP-DCV course, VMware Certified Professional Data Center Virtualization, the course that we're doing, you will see pretty much vSphere name there. So VMware, vSphere, and then vSAN, and then VMware, vSphere, and then FT or HA or whatever features are there, replication. So that they all start with VMware vSphere. So there is VMware Horizon as well. Horizon are another line of products. There is a VMware NSX as well. So, but VMware vSphere means that it is talking about the data center products there, right? Or whatever are connected to data centers. So what we are doing is a certified professional course on the data center products. Data center products are that you can create virtual network, you can create virtual servers, you can create virtual storage, and offer high availability features there. So it's just a suite of products name, marketing name for that. Brian says like a remote RDP client. Yes. Yes, I think you're talking about then vSphere client. Yes, RDP is kind of different. It's used for Windows, and yes, it is like that. You can remotely connect to your environment. The concept is same. Asneha says that vSphere client is only used to remote into ESXi. So that's another question. Is vSphere client only used to connect to ESXi? Well, I can say not only. So yes, it is used for connecting to ESXi. It is also used to connect to Vcenter. So ESXi hypervisor or Vcenter, you can use vSphere client application to, so you can install this on your Windows 10. Suppose you were hired as a VMware administrator, a cloud administrator, and a Microsoft administrator. So you will be given a laptop, suppose, and in the laptop you can just install this client here, right, vSphere client, and then you know the name or IP of the hypervisors, you know the address of the Vcenter. Just add those addresses and you can connect to Vcenter. When you connect to Vcenter, you don't have to then connect directly to hypervisors there. Because Vcenter centrally controls all the hypervisors, all virtual machines, all storage, networking. It controls everything of the VMware virtual environment, right? So, but yes, you can install this application in your laptop and go anywhere as long as you can ping these machines. You're in the same network. You can connect to the Vcenter, and through Vcenter you can control all hypervisors, all virtual machines, all storage, all networking, everything. So yes, vSphere client is used to remote into not only ESXi, but if you have Vcenter, then connect to Vcenter, and through that you can control all ESXi hypervisors as well. Right? All right or all wrong? Oh, all right. Okay. So well, this is kind of okay, right? So where I was trying to again, I appreciate all the questions here. That's very good that you're asking questions, and we need to now go ahead as well. So SAN here. SAN is storage area network. So we talked about the SAN last time as well. It is, and storage area network, right? So what is storage area network? It provides, last time also we talked about, so it is going to provide shared storage over the network. What is the benefit of that? Shared storage, the data is on the shared storage, it is not directly on the hypervisor. So if the hypervisor goes down, the SAN, your critical data was never on the hypervisor that went down or crashed. It was always on the storage area network, or remote disks, or LUNs, logical unit numbers. So we're going to create a software SAN here, and we're going to be providing minimum 3 disks there to both hypervisors. These remotely shared disks are called LUNs, or logical unit numbers, right? So it would be so LUN 1 and 1, 2. So these are remote shared disks, right? 1, 3. Thank God I don't have my video on. So okay, there will be smiles on some faces here. Seriously. Okay, let's not talk about it. So okay, and then we are talking about these are shared storage. Shared storage here, right? What is shared storage? Storage that is shared over the network, right? It's not local storage. So local storage is local to the hypervisors, and the shared storage is shared over the network, right? Central storage. Okay, there you go. Central storage. So without SAN, you don't have a complete, acceptable, professional virtualization environment. Without SAN, you don't have a professional virtualization environment. So you must have a SAN, right? Either in the form of our poor software SAN, or if you want to, if your company can afford, then go for $80,000, $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, or $1 million solution of SAN, right? So, but the data, the virtual machines should not be on a local disk of a hypervisor. It should be on a remote disk or central storage. All the critical data that the company totally relies on. So normally an application is what is in majority of the cases, the application or the data inside application is earning a company millions of dollars. That data better not be down. That data should be on a highly available storage. So that's why the SAN is a very, very critical component of that. So we're going to install our software SAN, which is going to be a Windows-based SAN on top of our your server one, right? So we're going to be installing SAN on that. Now hopefully we can do all that. This is our basic environment that I've talked about. We haven't yet gone to HA, DRS, FT, affinity groups, vSAN. We haven't gone to that. This is going to be introduced after we are done with this whole basic acceptable professional environment of VMware. This is main, you have to reach there where SAN is working and virtual machines are on top of that. If you reach there, now you have a basic VMware professional environment. After that, you introduce advanced features, right? So that's what the four machines will be used for. And then Ruben says here, how a SAN is logically separated for VMs. Can we use vCenter to control SAN? Actually, that's a very good question, Ruben. We will be using vCenter to control SAN. So SAN can be directly connected to A6i, but it must be connected to hypervisors through vCenter, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So it will be controlled by vCenter, yes. And if Annie says server one, yes, server one would have SAN. So SAN doesn't take a lot of RAM and CPU, so we're going to be installing Active Directory, DNS, Dhcp, and SAN on server one, right? Okay, Ruben says, what is the difference between SAN and NAS? So SAN is a storage area network, and NAS is network attached storage. Okay, so you said it already. So NAS is cheaper. NAS is directly attached storage. So when we talk about SAN and NAS, you can go to Canada Computers here, you can go to any computer shop here, or eBay or bestbuy.ca or that shop here, and you can purchase a NAS there, network attached storage. It could be an enclosure with 2 disks or 4 disks or 8 disks or 10 disks here, and that's cheaper, and that has a NFS or network file system there, so it's Linux based, and you can attach NAS to over the network or directly to a machine as well. But it is cheaper solution. It does not offer many of the advanced features that SAN offers. Storage area network is much faster. Storage area networks actually uses fiber optic. So maybe some of the NAS storage solutions might also be supporting fiber optic, but normally it's fiber optic cables. Maybe you've all heard about many of you are from telecom, so you must be an expert of fiber optic, or you must know that how much bandwidth it supports. It's pretty expensive as well. So SAN can use fiber optic cables and fiber optic switch and fiber optic network cards, and then it also supports iSCSI, which is you can just connect remotely over the network on your Ethernet cables, right? So it supports a lot of protocols. It is expensive, it is fast, it has disaster recovery solutions on very large scale. NAS is, I can just get it from my home as well, right? And it is, whenever company runs out of budget for SAN, they go for NAS as well. So NAS is performing less speed, less performance, less amount of advanced features of disaster recovery, and but it is still a secondary solution for small companies. And as a backup solution, suppose you ran out of space there. Oh, there's a NAS. Let's quickly just save anything here. Okay, and let's do that. Okay, so this is where NAS is cheaper than SAN, has less advanced features. SAN is much more expensive and offers all the best available features that nowadays any storage can buy. Right? So, but we're gonna try to test the NAS there. As I said, there are so many labs there, right? So if we all go a bit faster, then we can cover pretty much all the even smaller labs as well. Although my main target is to cover the main critical labs that are going to be useful for you in your interviews. So again, job-oriented course, we have to cover all those that's going to be useful for your interview, right? Okay, so all the roles we have discussed there, which role does what and why are we adding it here? So we have limited hardware here per user. That's why I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna ready for shifting these labs to your laptops if the performance is again unacceptable here on Vcloud, although they said that they kind of fix it. So hopefully if we follow some rules and don't give a lot of resources, and so don't share your, so well, when I say share, first of all, we understand why 4 machines are needed here, right, and why each of the roles are needed. Okay. Second, if you're saying that there is no Windows Server 2016 in VM library at MS201, so if it's okay. We can install 2012 as well. It's okay. 2012, 2016, 2019, whichever, right? It's okay. So now in our Vcloud, let's get to our lab there. If we understand our lab and its structure, inner workings better, then we will control our lab better. We can troubleshoot our lab better, and we clarify a lot of concepts this way as well, right? So we're gonna go to Vcloud now, and we're going to create 4 virtual machines inside our VApp. So what is VApp then? Vcloud, okay, that's a platform, and it is installed on their hardware, Humber's data center hardware. There's a Vcloud there. From there we can connect. They also download that software and installed it, and one administrator is taking care of that. So Shabir is saying I do not have MSI 201 in Vcloud. So guys, everyone has MSI 201 in Vcloud. Are you able to log into Vcloud first of all? Well, that's how you're seeing that. So okay. We're gonna be going there, and we're gonna check out. One last thing is, what is VApp? So one last thing is what is VApp? VApp. So actually, everyone is seeing MSI 201 there. I just have 105 and do not have access to create VMs in that. Ouch. So Shabina, try to contact the support ASAP, and yeah, tell them, give me MSI 201. What are you doing there? Okay. So Bikram says virtual application 1. Okay. Well, Bikram is saying something. Shabina, you can just see that too. I'm not able to log in. Last week it was working on. Okay. Anthony is giving a link there. Guys, there's a link there. MSI 201 link there. Thank you, Anthony. Olufemi is saying VApp is a tool that controls a cluster of VMs. There you go. So Olufemi has already said that. So guys, the final thing is that we're going to create VApp. What is a VApp? Anthony already said that. So if I just go ahead and create that diagram. Oh, okay. So I'll just go for that. Another paintbrush. So VApp is just that we can group together our virtual machine. So it is just a group of VMs that can be started, restarted, shut down together or in sequence. So you want to maintain a group of machines together, you just create a VApp for that. So this V, I just said that was not VApp. This is actual V, like WEV. Okay. So we will be creating a VApp there, and within VApp. So you have to just understand, guys. Within our VApp, we will create our 4 virtual machines, right? Within our VApp, we will create our 4 virtual machines, and that's it. So within our VApp, we will create our 4 virtual machines, and we will name our VApp as your first name VApp. That's it, right? So, and then we're gonna name our machines the way we are naming it. At the end, wherever I say take a screenshot, you all need to take a screenshot. Okay, when I say take a screenshot of this screen, so wherever I'm expecting all of you to be on that screen. So that's why you shouldn't be going ahead, because you need to take a screenshot, because I need to mark you for that. So because I have to give some marks to you at the end, right? So when I say take a screenshot of this screen, take a screenshot, save it somewhere, and at the end of the class, I mentioned that at the end of class, copy all screenshots in MS Word document and upload it to Blackboard upload link. So I'm going to be creating a upload link there, and you need to upload it today. Deadline to upload these screenshots inside MS Word is tonight 11:59. Unless you have an issue, you can just email me and I'll extend time for you. Or so late submission will have half marks, right? All right. So at the end of V class, did I just mention V class here? At the end of class, yeah. So everything is V, so we are also V, right? So why not the class should be V as well? So just take all the V screenshots and put it on VMS Word. Otherwise, it will be V half marks, right? So okay. Anyway, let's go ahead, guys, and so. Okay, so let's go ahead and now we go for our lab, right? So yeah, so let's go for there's a link there that Anthony has given already. So that's the link. I'll just put there here as well. So let us go to that link. Lettuce or salad, right? Okay, let's go to Vcloud now. Okay, so yeah, I don't have a that Echo software. I'm just doing it myself. I'm sure you know that. Okay, so this is that Vcloud software link, and that's hard. What, the Echo or the software or the link is hard? The Echo, okay. Oh, you were trying that. I was doing that a lot of Echo in other courses as well. One manager was learning MCSA from me. So then involuntarily he was telling his subordinates, "Hey, do this." And at once the first day his subordinates say, "Oh, boss, what did you just do?" I said, "Oh man, I involuntarily did that. It's in my mind now. My teacher does that." Okay, so he was doing that with his employees. "Hey, Kim, come here." All employees were like, "Hey, is it gone mad or what happened?" Yesterday it was okay. So when I do that, it's involuntarily in the minds of the students, and they're all doing it. Let's go. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's click. Oh, seriously. Okay. So I'll just click that. Oh. Rahim, Humber ID at humbermail.ca. That's right. Okay. Brother says, please copy instructions about screenshot and notes. Oh, will do. So let me just put that. Hey, did I not do that? No. Okay. So these are the instructions here, guys. And if you have any reason that teach, hey, prof, I did not do that. I was not able to do that at 11:59. I was not able to upload that. So just give me a reason, and that's it. I'm here to help you, right? But the main thing is we work hard. We work as a team. We help each other, and put your screenshots, error screenshots on WhatsApp, so we could all see that, and I could help you right away by seeing the screenshot, right? So we're going slow. We're understanding the format right now, and then we're going to go faster with your speed. I will go at your speed, at your combined speed there. So I hope, and you guys are really smart, just like previous classes. So I'm sure we're gonna catch up some speed after that. So VApp we talked about, and then there's that within VApp blah, 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 we will name our machine. So lab instructions, lab in instructions, and that is let me just decorate it. Oops. All right, so those who have access to that, I hope within 2 to 10 seconds, this whatever I'm typing here is actually showing in your OneNote as well, right? And so what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to move away from these screens, so I'll be putting these diagrams there on OneNote, and those who have access will be able to see this information any other time as well. But definitely I'll be providing access to everyone. It happens that first time, second time, third time we don't get it. So I'll be putting all these screenshots here as well. We're just going a bit slow, and we're making sure everyone's on the same page, and then we're going to go a bit faster, hopefully. Okay, so everything is copied. We had 2 diagrams here, so everything's copied to the OneNote as well. So those who have access should be seeing that in 2 to 10 seconds in their OneNote as well. And once you have it in your OneNote, you can actually copy at the end of the class the whole thing that is on your OneNote in your MS Word. So you could have an offline copy of these notes as well, because once you finish the program, so OneNote might not be available for you. So just copy everything down somewhere in your MS Word document. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so there was a lot of chat going on. Is it for me, or you guys are just trying to hear? Please screenshot your echo voice to that's a good one. So screenshot my echo voice. Echo. Oh no, screenshot. No. So I can't log in. Last week I did it. So are you able to log in? Log in only with Humber ID and password. Okay, flush your browser. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, then you're good. Okay, so guys, are we all logged into our Vcloud? So where's mine? Yeah, there it is. So Vcloud. Did I say Vcloud? Vcloud. Yeah. Vcloud. And sign in. So do we all see this? Oh, running VMs 107. Yeah, actually I tried that. So guys, mentally be ready. Like, you need to install the same environment in your laptops as well. We're gonna work together from now on, and we're gonna help each other, right? There's a WhatsApp there where you can just share everything wherever you're stuck. I'll be giving you the software for your laptop and all the instructions at the end of the class. Okay, so now you see this, right? So there's a data center written there as well on top, data centers. And if I click the data centers on top, so there's that data center, there's library here, there's site written here, there's organization, virtual data centers here. So if I click the data centers here, the libraries, first of all, let's click the libraries. So if you click the libraries here, what do you see here? So VApp templates, so there are some pre-installed virtual machines there as well, and or operating systems there, Windows 7 base, Windows 10 operating system installed. And then there is that organization VDC template, that's the next one, but nothing here. But that's just if we had created those templates. Media and other. So if you see all media and other, do you see exactly what I see here? So VMware 6.5 VCSA, E6i 6.5, Windows Server 2012 R2, Vcenter 6.5 appliance, Vcenter 6.5, okay, 6.5 Windows ISO, right? So 4 options.
So I think we are not seeing what the same what you are saying.
No, like what do you see then? So guys, everyone, please take a screenshot now of this. What do you see here? So how to take a screenshot? There's a print screen button on your keyboard.
Like there is no templates. You said that there is templates for Windows 7 and Windows 10. There is no.
Oh.
And here in this screen we have only 4.
Okay, so if you do not see, so this is the instructor one. If you don't see any of those, so first of all, we're not gonna use those templates. If they're not there, it's okay. Thank you for sharing that you don't see that, because we They're there for me, but they will be available for you. It's just that we're not going to need them. Yeah.
And we have only app templates, media and other, and catalogs.
Okay,
That's it.
all we need. Thank you for confirming that too. Media and other, if you have that, within the media and other, do you see all 5? What I see? The ISOs?
It is 4 only.
It's 4 here.
Sir, we are missing on the ISO of application ISO. Vcenter 5 application ISO.
Appliance, right?
Yeah, appliance. I'm sorry.
So, appliance, everyone is missing with appliance? Everyone? Like everyone?
Yes.
That's 1 trillion yes.
No, for me, no.
Oh, so you have it. Okay, one student has it, but the rest do not have it. Ah, you guys are good. Like, you're okay. So if we do not have appliance, well, for now, what we need for the half of the course, at least, is oh no. But do you have VCSA? Everyone has VCSA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, we have VSA.
that is
Yes.
appliance. So if you have VCSA, that's the same thing that this is. So okay, so you have it. Don't worry, you have it too. So what is that? We're going to be talking about what is VCSA and what is Windows based. So VCSA is a Linux based vCenter. VCSA is a Linux based vCenter, and vCenter 6.5 Windows is Windows based vCenter. But if you don't have appliance, that's okay. I don't know why the Vcloud administrator installed it 2 times for me, the same thing. But if you have VCSA, you have this already. You don't need this one then. And you can see the size, 3.72 GB for appliance, 3.72 GB for the VCSA. So they are exactly the same thing, with different names. So don't worry about that. Okay, guys. So we got the media and other, and then if we go to catalogs here, so there's that Windows catalog, and then there's MSI 201, and what the thing is that they just categorized it version 9, version 5. So it's whatever templates you have there, media and other for MSI 201. So I think everyone is.
We just have MSI 201.
Okay. So again, yeah, that would be what we need. But if you don't have Windows, again, that is instructor view. And my reason to compare it is exactly that are you able to see that? But what we need is MSI 201 to be there. Anyone who does not have MSI 201, let me know. Oh, so Masood, you don't have MSI 201? Only, oh yeah, only MSI 201 is the must thing you must have. So yeah, Windows we don't need, Windows we don't need, Windows we don't need. Okay, yeah, so Windows we do not need, but we do not need Windows, but everyone must have MSI 201. That's what we need. Everyone must have MSI 201. So those who don't have MSI 201, please contact or check that Anthony's link. Anthony put that link there, and please make sure that you have MSI 201. Okay, guys. So if you don't have, then you have to talk to that technical support of Humber. Oh, it's okay. Cool. You also have Masood. You have MSI 201. So we need that. We don't need Windows. Maybe that's my other course that they were saying that I will be teaching. So I teach MCSA, all the system administration courses. So okay. So anyway, so here let's go for VApp templates. Okay. So but these are the VApp templates, and there's a new written here, right? So everyone's on VApp templates.
Sir, under VApp templates, the new is disabled and we do not have the templates there.
Okay, so in that case, so that's very good to update. We can go up to, do we all see this, libraries? So there's data center, then there's administration, right? Not new access, okay.
No, sir.
We don't have administration.
Okay, that's good. So this means that we can come back to data centers, because this is a new interface. We were having flash-based interface in last course, and some of the features are available for the instructors, but those are just extra features. But the course features that I'm going to point out to you, you must have. And since you're saying yes, yes, yes to that, so that's good. So that's why I'm also confirming with you that what you see and what I see depends on, the instructor has a bit more resources, but what we need to have, that's why I'm comparing that with you. So if you go up and you click the data centers, are we on the same screen here? Yes. Okay, there you go.
Yes, sir.
So when you click that, so there's that. Okay, let me just click that again. This area, we need to click it, right? So once you see that here, MSI 201, let's click it. Now in that MSI 201, I think many of us have tested. FANE has created one machine, Ajibola has created one machine, so you're going to be charged for that. Without permission, you have created the machines. You can just email transfer me $200. That would be good. I'll just go to some restaurant and eat some good food, well, which is well sprayed. And if they sprayed it, obviously I won't eat that. What am I doing? So anyway, so that's good that you've practiced it. I'm just kidding. So let's go ahead, guys, and there within virtual machine, do you see this VApps? Yes. Okay. So okay, there's a yes. Yeah, I sometimes I say yes on your behalf. So if there's not enough yeses in enough within time, so I say yes. That's just from your side, right? Okay, so there's that VApp here, and we click that VApp, right? Oh, if any has a VApp as well, that's like $400 now. Okay, so here, when we go for VApp, there's an add VApp from OVF. Okay, since I'm reading that, so whenever there's a new terminology, we have to discuss that. So VApp, we know that it is group of machines. I already talked about it. But what is OVF? OVF is Open Virtualization Format. OVF is used for importing and exporting virtual machines. That's a common format for importing and exporting virtual machines between VMware and ESXi and Microsoft Hyper-V and Citrix Zen Server, hopefully with Red Hat KVM as well. But OVF is Open Virtualization Format. OVF just means it's a file that you have, a virtual machine that you have exported from the virtual environment or importing to virtual environment, right? So it ends with OVF. Okay, so then there's a new VApp. So why are we coming here? Because we're going to be creating our own VApp now. So it will be just like I did, Amir-VApp, FANE-VApp. So your first name -VApp will be created here. So in very soon right now, instructor actually can see all the VApps. I think you guys can only see your own VApp there. So if those you have created there. So let's create the new VApp here. So this is the VApp, or this is just like that environment that we're about to create, where inside the VApp, we will be creating our 4 virtual machines. So everyone will have their own VApp, which is just a group of machines. VApp controls group of machines. That's it, right? So let's create our own VApp. Now, once you click that new VApp, you will see this. So go ahead and click that, and hopefully everyone's on this screen. Yes. Okay, thank you for that reply. And let's. Okay, so yeah, and then your first name -VApp. So it's your first name, not my first name. Hopefully there is no other Amir here in this group. So in George Brown College, yeah, there was one Amir there. So I would always tell him, okay, you can write AMER and I'll write AMIR. So that's how we differentiate it. So if there are 2 names in the group, just talk to each other. So your first name VApp here, and once you have created that, so description is that VCP-DCV Spring 2020. Okay, that's it, right? So and then once we create a VApp, there's that add virtual machine. We didn't create any virtual machine yet, so but let's just create a VApp first and see how it looks like there. Oh, actually, you know what? I think because I was practicing this environment, so that if it works or not. So in my case, it will be 1 because I already have Amir-VApp. So you don't have to put that one there. If you want, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, so we just create a VApp, but we're not doing this now. So there's a create button here, right? So let's click the create. So you can see, oh, well, I can see actually 5, 6 more. So here, where's mine? So there's an Amir VApp that I don't need. So, oh, there's an Amar VApp. Hey, okay. So now where there will be confusion. So, for me and Amar. So delete. So what I'm doing is just ignore that. What I'm doing, just ignore that. You're not seeing this. Okay. So gone. So my VApp is my first name 1-VApp. So if that VApp is created, so you can see that there's 0 virtual machines inside. There's total CPU 0, total storage 0, and total memory 0, right? And no networks there, and no snapshots there. So pretty much some initial critical report is there that we haven't created anything. Obviously, it's just an empty. So Shaban is saying resolved. Okay. Amarjeet equals Amar. Oh, okay. Amarjeet Amar. Okay. So yeah, sorry. So Amar. So there's that Amar. So we are neighbors now. Hey, high five, right? So okay. Now what we need to do is that we can go for actions here, like lights, camera, action, right? So there's actions here, right? So in the actions, you can see within a VApp what you can do. You can delete it, you can change owner, move to, copy to, new lease, renew lease. Lease just means that you can use it or you cannot use it, right? So, and download. Oh, you can download that. Hey, suppose we create all this environment here, and then if we download it, can we run that same environment in our VMware workstation? We should be able to. I never did this stunt, so well, that would be a good thing to explore. Which also means that suppose we have to shift to our laptops, can we just download all 4 machines here and run it on our laptop? That's something to be experimented, but it's better to create from scratch there as well, separately. Okay, so let's click that add VM, guys. Add VM. Let's click that add VM here. Hopefully everyone's there. So once you click add VM here, so you can search the catalog for virtual machines to add to this VApp, or add a new blank VM once the VApp is created. You can power on the new VM and install an operating system. Okay, so yeah, we can do that. We can just add virtual machine now. So we're adding a VM, first VM out of the 4, adding the first VM inside our VApp. VApp is just a group of machines. It's an application that lets us group machines together to manage them together, right? So let's click that add virtual machine here. And then the first virtual machine name. So the first virtual machine name would be, what's wrong with me? My echo. Okay, I'm going back to the diagram here, right? So it will be your first name, serve01, right? That will be the same name for the operating system as well. This is a machine label, right? Then there will be an operating system name as well. So I'm just going to go back here, and your first name, serve01. And again, if it's too lengthy, just, make it smaller. And description, yeah, it's okay, doesn't matter. So your first name here, well, we can also see here domain controller. So just for extra information, we're not actually going for template because we're not installing Windows 10 client operating system, or Windows 7. Yeah, that's all we have. So we're gonna go for new here, this one, right? New. All right, so once we click new here, then there is OS family. So we're gonna select, obviously, you know what, Microsoft Windows. So we're gonna select Microsoft Windows. Hopefully everyone's with me. So, and then operating system. So right now what we have is 2012. In the laptop, when you create that, it could be 2012, 2016, 2019, whichever, right? So I'm gonna click that operating system, and what we have is this one, right? So that's the fourth one from the top. I hope everyone's seeing that. And 2012 64-bit, right? So let's click this. All right. So then there's that boot image, and we know. So when we select that, it will make available universal Windows operating system drivers in our virtual machine. Suppose we select Windows 10 and we're still trying to install. We're not going to do that. But if we still try to install Windows 2012 here, so the drivers, universal drivers of display, sound, network will be for Windows 10, not for Windows 2016. So obviously we have to select the version or universal drivers that will be available by the VMware environment for our operating system. So now we're going to select the operating system ISO image. So that is from the media that we're selecting, and this is our Windows. It starts with Windows, and it's the fourth one for you. So I'm just going to select that Windows 2012 R2. That's the only one we have, right? 2016 is at the top. Oh, okay. Why are we not selecting 2016 here? Anyone can tell me? Why are we not going to select 2016 here?
Because we don't have the ISO for the 2016.
Exactly, we don't have the ISO for that. So that's why we don't need to select that 2016. We have 2012. So that's why we're going to select 2012, because we don't have the ISO 2016. If we had, yes, we could have gone for that. It could be any ISO here. Well, Windows Server ISO. So Windows Server 2012 here, and then so this is our just operating system. Then we go for compute. Okay, so when we go to compute here, so there's a predefined sizing options and there's a custom sizing here. Predefined sizing options are like, this could be the ideal minimum RAM and processor for 2012, or we could go our own way of custom sizing. But if we go for, suppose, predefined, so it says that we can give you 2 vCPUs, 1 core there, and then memory is just 1 GB. You're kidding me? And storage is 80 gigs, which is okay. Like, we're not going to install a lot of things here. So let's go custom here. So there's a custom sizing options. 2 vCPUs okay. 1 core, 2 vCPUs is okay with 1 core. So suppose you have 1 vCPU with 2 cores, so that's 1 vCPU divided by 2. So it will work as 2 processors, right? Or if you go for 2 vCPUs, it's the same thing, 2 processors separately. So memory, we need to give, actually there's a MB here, right? So change that to GB first. There's an MB there. Change that to GB first, and then now it is 1 terabyte, right? So we don't want 1 terabyte. We just need to put 2. So that's like a pretty bad RAM. So while you're on this page, stay on this page, and I'm gonna go back to this diagram where I still haven't yet given you the memory. So 2 GB, 2 CPU, and we can say 100 GB disk for the first machine, because every machine has different roles, so different hardware is required for that, right? So the second machine is it's gonna have, initially it's gonna have 2 GB, but once we are about to install Vcenter, so at that time we're gonna change that. Can we? Yeah, we can edit the RAM anytime we want, right? So right now we're gonna keep it less. But once the Vcenter needs to be installed, then we need it to be 10 GB, and then we need it to be 2 CPUs, yes, but we need this to be 300 GB disk, because Vcenter is a big application that centrally controls the whole VMware virtual environment. Its hardware requirements are different. Minimum hardware prerequisites are that you should have 10 GB RAM, minimum, and more than 120 GB disk space, right? So as a precaution, we're going to go for it. So right now, since Vcenter, we're not going to install right away. So it's going to be 2 GB here, 2 CPUs, because we need to put less pressure on our Vcloud, the underlying platform that might give, if we all gave a lot of hardware, it will be affected badly on our. Now guys, The disk is something that we may not be able to change later. We can shut down the machine later when we are about to install vCenter. We will be able to change the RAM. We will be able to change the CPU, but we will not be able to change the disk where the operating system is installed, right? So we can keep the disk right now as 300 GB. So, and then when we create the third and fourth machine, so these two guys here, we're gonna go for minimum. It's gonna take 4 GB. Basically, it's gonna take 4 GB for hypervisor, and it's gonna basically go for 2 processors, and we can actually give it 200 GB for. So this is the information for both hypervisors, the hardware information, right? So we're going to be giving this kind of hardware right now, but later for vCenter only, we're going to be changing the RAM. So let's give it less pressure on vCloud so we could all survive, and we might be able to finish the course there, but we're not going to take chances. We're going to install this week also the same environment where we reached here in our vCloud. We're going to reach there in our laptops as well. It's only going to be your benefit if you do that, and you're going to be more confident on these technologies, because on top of that, we're going to build up with more advanced configurations. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and that's the first machine here. So there's 2 GB memory here, which is good enough, right? If you go down further, so okay, there's a comment there. Okay, we have ISO, and if any says what static IP can we use here? So the IP we don't have to give here right now, because once the operating system is installed, we're going to give the IP there. But first of all, we're talking about the disk here, right? So if you go down to the storage, so memory is resolved, right? 2 GB. The disk, we can also we're just going for 100 GB disk, right? That's the first machine, remember, right? So if we go back to our diagram, so this is the first machine, 2 GB RAM, 2 CPU, and 100 GB disk, right? That's for the first machine. So we're going to be sharp administrators. You're the administrator of this environment or your own environment. Now, if we go further down, there's a networking here, right? So here, it is not connected, but if we drop down to, I think we all see this, MSI 201 Internet 1, right? So we're going to select in the networking MSI 201 Internet 1, and network adapter type is E1000E, which is okay. We're going to talk about in the networking area what are those, but you can use those network adapters as well. But right now we're going to go for the provided network adapter with, I think it's going to go for duplex speed, which is good bandwidth. And also IP mode is DHCP, so we can go for IP pool here. IP pool is that they have specific set of IP addresses assigned for the vCloud virtual machines. So they're going to give us a specific IP to this virtual machine. But inside operating system IPs, I haven't given you yet. I'm gonna be putting that outside. We're gonna get automatic IP addresses from the vCloud DHCP, which is okay for us. We need these machines to talk to each other, actually, right? So one network card, that is MSI 201 E1000E network adapter IP pool. If you have clicked that, so that's good enough. And but here we're not going to give any static IP. We're going to give static IP inside the operating system, right? So I'm going to repeat this. The name is your first name 01 server 01. Description is domain controller. Then we went for type as new, not from template. Then Windows 2012 64, and then we have virtual CPUs here, 2 cores per socket 1, number of sockets 2, memory is 2 GB, and disk is 100 GB, and E1000 is the network. So guys, take a screenshot of, just go up, and whatever from the computer name you can take a screenshot of. Take screenshot number 1. This is one virtual machine, Paul. This is not 2 virtual machines. This is one virtual machine. Because second virtual machine's requirement is different, so we're not creating second, like 2 with the same requirements. Second virtual machine's requirement, well, it will be different. Yeah, so CPUs is 2 CPUs. This is just one virtual machine being given 2 vCPUs. You can give 4 vCPUs, you can give even 10 vCPUs. So we're gonna give 2 VCP. So guys, take a screenshot here where your name is clearly showing. So now we're gonna be actually naming our screenshots. I'm just putting that in. Normally what happens is it happens like this. So screenshot 1 equals screenshot 1 is creating first VM in Vcloud. So you're going to name that screenshot, label that screenshot. When you're taking a screenshot, you need to name it exactly what I just named here, right? And save it somewhere. At the end of the class, you need to copy all the screenshots to MS Word, upload it to the URL that I will provide you on the Blackboard, right? So please name your screenshot now, creating first VM in cloud. Your screenshot must be showing your name, right? Well, yeah, my screenshot is showing my name, right? Amir server 01, right? So your first name, every screenshot must have your name there. That's the main idea behind that. Every screenshot must have your name there. So, I hope everyone has taken a screenshot, named it exactly like this, screenshot 1 creating first VM in cloud, and then we're gonna have a total of 10 screenshots, that's why I'm gonna, at different places I'm gonna 10 or less, but not more. Sometimes it could be 8 screenshots, sometimes it could be, on those screenshots they will tell me that you have gone through these labs with me, or you have gone through these labs, right? And then I'll mark you for those. So creating first VM in Vcloud is the name of the first screenshot. So it will be 10 or less. Sometimes if we need, we can go for 11 or 12 as well. All right? Or all wrong? No, all right. Okay, so here, if you've done that screenshot taking here, then that's all we need. Go down here and press OK. So let's press OK. And that's our first virtual machine. And let's click add. Right?
Sorry, I don't know where my screen went. I cannot see it.
It went that way. I'm just kidding. So yeah. Your screen's a tab, right? See this? My tab is showing there, right? So maybe you've clicked here on this tab, so you can just go to this tab here. Actually, my tab name is not showing. So see where the tab is showing Vcloud director? That would be your screen. Oh, but yes, it could have been if you clicked somewhere else, or maybe by mistake you've clicked the crosshair or the cancel here. Ouch.
I think so. I clicked the cancel there.
Okay, that would be a punishment. You have to send samosas to the teacher. I'll tell you this shop, and you have to, order it, and I'll give the address as well, right? Send those samosas to me. Thank you very much. Okay, so anyway, if you've cancelled it, so hopefully you know what we configured. Or wait for the video, or we're gonna create a second machine as well. You can follow those things for the first machine as well. Let's click add here, guys. So it happens, don't worry, you will still be able to create the machine. So we're going to create a second machine here, but that's going to be exactly like the first machine, right? Yes. So that will be exactly like the first machine. So here I can see that virtual machines has number 1, total CPUs is 2, total storage is 100, and total memory is 2 GB. So total of your VApp, we should not be going total of 10 GB or 12 GB, but if we had to, it should be still careful. So now, guys, first machine is created. We can go to actions here, and there's an add VM again written there, right? So now we know the drill here, right? That within the VApp, we need to create 4 virtual machines. So this is the external setting of the virtual machine that we're creating. Once the 4 are created, then we're going to go to first virtual machine. We're going to start it, and we're going to install the operating system. We're going to give static IP. We're going to rename it. We're going to do a lot of things, right? We're just going to consider it on first machine, then the second machine, then the third, then the fourth. We're going to configure everything from scratch. So let's go to actions on our VApp and go for the second VM, right? hopefully the main thing is, do we understand what we're doing? That's the main thing. Then how to do it is the second most important thing, right? Third is, did you certify? Did you certification? Okay, so anyway, so let's go for actions again and click the add VM again, because we're gonna go for the second machine. Now here,
So
yeah,
if you scroll down, there is something called showing tasks. Should we mind that? Like not that menu,
okay.
just at the bottom.
So I am at the bottom here on the left side, or well, I don't.
Just at the bottom.
Sir, it's on the status bar.
Oh, status bar, which is oh, it's on the status
Right
bar.
here.
Yeah, this one. So running is 0, failed is 0. So, well, the thing is that, yes, that's a very good point there. And yes, we should keep an eye on that. But if I click that right now, it's going to tell you exactly what happened here. But it's going to just take some portion of our screen. That's why I'm not clicking that. But yes, if it failed, that should be there. So recent task is something definitely there's a good point. I'm not sure who told me that. So, this is a very good point. Thank you, sir. So yes, if you want to see that what is the progress going on, you can just go there, recent task, and that's it. So thank you for that. Okay, so let's go for actions again, and let's go for add VM. We're gonna carefully do that. If we missed any one small step, the whole course might be not very comfortable for you. So guys, let me know whenever you want the break, because we're supposed to take a break at 8. Okay, so add VM here, and then we are adding the second machine. Okay, so let's go for add virtual machine here, right? So now we know the drill, right? So what's the name of the second machine? It's your first name, ser serve02, and that's a member server. But it's not only just a member server slash, it's actually going to have a Vcenter 6.5 installed there as well, right? So Vcenter 6.5 will be installed. So in description, we would know that what are we planning to do here. Member server just means that it's going to be joined to the domain that we're about to create now of Microsoft. So let's click new here as well. And we kind of know the drill now. So we're going to go for select here, and it's Microsoft Windows. We will select the operating system again. So make sure every step is correct, right? So 2012 64-bit, and boot image is this Windows 2012 R2, well, I'm just gonna go back to the diagram here, and it says here nested. So it's going to be RAM 2 GB temporarily for now until Vcenter. It is 2 GB RAM 2 CPU. Well, did I say RAM again? Yeah, it's 2 CPU. Seriously, it's not RAM. So 2 CPU here, and then 300 GB. So later we won't be able to change the hard disk. So right now we're going to give it 300 GB hard disk. That's the only difference from the first machine. So I'm just going to go for, because RAM and CPU we can change later as well. So when we go to compute means in AWS, right now you're having AWS with the instructor, right? So there also you will see their compute, and you should be giving those solutions architect exam ASAP, right, at the end of the course. Very, very critical for you. Okay, so compute, select size there, predefined sizing, or we're gonna go custom here, and it's 2 virtual CPUs and two cores, 2 sockets. Number of sockets 2 is okay. Sockets just that physical processor there. So memory here is not MB, it's GB. Now if somebody forgets that, that's not good, because we're gonna put 2 here after changing it to GB. Suppose it's just MB, so 2 MB is not even good for breathing. So that's why I'm just gonna go for 2 GB. Make sure you change that GB and then you change it to 2, right? So other than that, the hard disk here would be 300. Oh, Amarjeet says I missed this one. So I missed which one? Let me know. Ramarji, tell me where to. I'm back here on the top. So description. Okay. So please write this. Member server / Vcenter 6.5, or I just put it there as well. Is that all you missed, or you want to check something else? Let me know. And then we selected Windows, then we selected 2012. Is there an OS before hypervisor first? Oh. Okay, so we're good. And Olufemi, I didn't get it. Okay, no problem. So OS before hypervisor first. Okay, so not sure what that question is. Is it for me or for your student, for class fellow? Okay, guys. So server 2012, and then we go down to virtual CPUs 2, cores per socket 1, number of sockets 2, memory is 2 GB, not MB. It's 2 GB, right? And then we have 300 GB disk here, right? We have 300 GB disk here. We have 300 GB disk here. Okay. And then we go down to its networking. So we're going to go for MSI 201 Internet 1. E1000E is the network adapter type. And it's not DHCP. It is IP pool. Right? MSI 201 Internet 1, E1000E, and IP pool. So I hope everyone has exactly done this one, right? Do not make any changes unless you know what you're doing. And okay, so this is what we did for the first machine. In the first machine, we just gave 100 GB disk here, and the second machine we're giving 300 GB, right? Okay, let's press ONK here, right? ONK. And we can just add all 4 machines at the same time as well, but we're just going step by step now. That do we have any mistake here that we can correct, and instead of doing 4 and then confusing with, okay, where's the mistake, let's go to the third one, no, let's go with the fourth one, no, let's go to the first one. So step by step, we're going slow here, but we're going to go fast. If your response is good, we can go a little faster. So let's click add here now. And yes, do not click cancel. So just kidding. Yeah, it's by mistake, I know. So there's that second machine, and we can just go to this, right? Recent tasks. And when we click that, so it says succeeded here for this ID here. Initiator was that. And there's the other ID is 165. Then 822 is also doing that. 802 is also doing that. So this is pretty much all of us who are doing that. And the machine is, if it succeeded, we're good. So I'm just gonna click again recent task to just shut it down. And now we have 2 virtual machines, 4 CPUs here. Total storage is 400 GB now. Total memory, so it's giving us a total of what we have done, right? So Amarjit says, I don't add this one. Did you click cancel, Amarjit? Like you didn't add this one? Well, then what options we selected?
Sai, it will take some time to reflect. Now it is reflecting.
Oh, okay, so it's just taking time, but you were able to successfully click the add button. Okay, cool. So, okay, so if it is added, let's go for the third and fourth machine as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break from 8:40 till 9 o'clock, right? Okay, let's go for actions here again, and let's go for lights, camera, action. No, it's add VM. So, but we're going to follow that third one in the diagram. So add VM. Now this time we're going for that ESXi, right? So ESXi has 4 GB RAM. When we do select ESXi, it will automatically go to 4 GB because minimum RAM required for hypervisor 1 of VMware, which is ESXi, it is always 4 GB, and 2 vCPUs always is a requirement. Then hard disk for both of them would be 200 GB. Now requirement is same for hardware requirement is same for both hypervisors. So you can see the name would be your first name is ES6i01. So let's go back here and click add virtual machine. Okay. And this is going to be your first name, ES6i01. So that's hypervisor. In description, you put there, it's hypervisor. Okay, if you want to put 1, yeah, it's hypervisor. So this machine is not a member server, it's not a domain controller, it's a hypervisor 1. Alright, so we're gonna go for type new here, and this time it's not Windows machine, it's a hypervisor. So if we select from OS family right now, so what do we put there? Well, basically it's a Linux based, right? Basically it's a Linux based. So if we do select Linux here, hopefully everyone's doing that, and then we go to the operating system. So do we see anywhere here? Well, we do see VMware Photon here, right? VMware Photon. Do we also see a ESXi written here somewhere? Although Photon is just good enough for us. 6.5 is Photon. SUSE Linux is there. So all types of Linuxes are there, and the Photon is there. So yes, guys, go for this Mr. Photon. And then, so the drivers of the Photon operating system, which was introduced in 6.5. Before that, it was SUSE Linux Enterprise Edition 11 for 6.0 VMware, but we're on 6.5, right? So boot image, select, and now what are we selecting here? So it's going to be ESXi 6.5 because we're not, well, that's the one that starts with ESXi. That's the only one there, right? So select that. So that's our ESXi or hypervisor 1 6.5. Okay, so we're gonna go down here, and you can see it goes for 2 vCPUs, and no, so they didn't automatically give that, but it can't run less than 4 GB RAM and can't run less than 2 vCPUs. So if you go to the custom sizing options here for the third machine, which is your first name ES6i01, so 2 vCPUs, it's okay, right? But now the RAM, it doesn't run more less than 4 GB, right? So we're gonna again change the MB to GB. We're gonna change MB to GB, and this time we're gonna go for 4 GB. Minimum hypervisor RAM is 4 GB. It's not gonna run less than that. Okay, so if we go back to the diagram, so it was 200 GB here for the disk. So the 2 hypervisors. So we're going to just type here for the storage 200. Alright, so it's 200 GB, and then we're gonna go for networking. That's the same for all 4 machines, and that is 201 Internet 1, VMX Net 3, and again we're gonna stick to IP pool. Okay, so okay, we get the drill here. We understand you've been doing that for 2 machines. That's the third one. So if you have put in all this information there, then yeah, we're good. So Linux and Photon OS and ESXi 6.5 and 2 vCPUs, 4 GB RAM, 200 GB disk, and the networking. So let's press OK.
Sir, in the network adapter type, we selected E1000D for the other virtual machines.
So guys, did we all select? Okay, I mean, like, there was a mistake, so just come back here and do that. Thank you for Paul has pressed yes already, so it's too late now. Yeah, it's just too late. It's done forever now. Forget it. And no, just click edit here, Paul, and go to the RAM. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. Those who have pressed OK, I'll show you. Otherwise, you go to details and just edit, and you can just come back to the machine RAM and network and change that. But I'll show you now. So Thank you for noticing that, Mr. Thank you. So E1000E and IP pool. So, and press ONK. I'm gonna press now. So, well, if we click this, can we just go from here, or let's just create that first and then we go? So I just want to go to the edit button for those who pressed OK because I said that, so it was my mistake now. So I'm just gonna click add first, then I'm gonna go to edit, right? So I'm gonna click add, and then I'm gonna click edit. So let it be created first. So it's running, and if we click that recent task here, so 1%. Wow. See, we're all doing that. So 27 are doing that. So that's why Vcloud is like being bombarded with requests there. So Vcloud is like screaming right now. Okay, so all are done. So the only one remaining, Amir's machine is remaining. All right, so okay guys, so 3 machines are there, but we need to actually go to edit this machine. So how do we do that? So we can go inside this V app. So if you go to the left side, you can see virtual machines here, right? So we're going to create the 4th machine, yes, but those who pressed OK and want to edit now, so let's go to that virtual machines here. And in virtual machine, well, you might be seeing just yours, but I'm seeing all your machines. So I'll just show you on any one machine here that either you can go to actions. Does the action have edit? Otherwise, it's going to be details. And when you click the details, there you go. When you click details, there's that hardware. So Paul, you were able to go to the details and then the hardware. And go down here, there's your network card, right? I don't know whose machine is that which has 2 network cards, but just change your network adapter to oh sorry, it's yeah, network adapter here. Oh, are you able to change that? Ouch. So hopefully you're able to change that, because the machine is supposed to be off. And okay, so I'm just gonna go back to V app, and let's just create the 4th one now. So I'll just filter and put my name there, Amir. Okay, so guys, let's go for actions. And oh, okay, so click. I think yeah. Hopefully everyone, those who pressed OK were able to change that network card, right? So actions, and then go for the 4th VM, and we get the drill now. We don't understand what's this, right? So let's click add VM, 4th one, and then we take a break. So that's I'm again on add VM now. I hope everyone is, and click the add virtual machine. Add virtual machine. And now we're gonna name it your first name, ESXI02, and it is also Hypervisor 1. And then we go for new here, and OS family is Microsoft Windows. Obviously it's not Microsoft Windows, it's Linux.
Is it type as a hypervisor 1 or 2?
Oh, okay. So you're right. This is a hypervisor type, right? So it's not the number of hypervisors we have. So the type is still 1. Even if we create 100 more hypervisors, they will all be hypervisor 1s, right? Because it's E6i. Hypervisor 2 is VMware Workstation, the one that gets installed on top of OS. So the type will be always hypervisor 1. But the number of hypervisors, it's saying here 2. So here, operating system, and we understand now it's Photon, and VMware Photon OS 64-bit, and then we go for boot image here. It's again just the ESXi. It is again just the ESXi, and then we go down to custom sizing options, and it's 2 vCPUs, which is okay, but the RAM has to be changed to 4 GB. So let's click GB here, change the MB to GB, change the MB to GB. Don't forget that 4, just write it here 4, so it could actually start. And we know the drill now. So storage is already 200. And then, yeah, the network card, please change network card, please change network card. So it's E1000E, and change the network, which is MSI 201 Internet 1. Change the IP mode, which is IP pool. So 3 changes on ESXi hypervisors: MSI 201 Internet 1, E1000E, and IP mode is IP pool. Ready? All right. All right. Okay. So if all right, so now we're kind of ready here. So we could just press OK. Okay. And then click add. Right? No mistake, right? Okay, click add. So now the 4th machine is getting ready, and that is it. Let's go for the break, then come back again and continue with the...
So in my VM, it's showing lease as 6 days.
For me, it says the operation was aborted because you exceed your storage virtual machine quota.
Okay. Can you also abort it message? Can you just take a screenshot of that and put on WhatsApp if possible? So because we then need to send it to the Vcloud administrator. Anyone who got the error, please take a screenshot there. Oh no, not on WhatsApp. No, you can take a screenshot and email me, or so my email address is r @humber.ca, and also irigami. I don't know what I was thinking when I created my Gmail. So at gmail.com. So nowadays my name is Sayyid Amir Shahzad. Oh, okay. No, my permanent name is Amir. No, that's a joke actually in Urdu and Punjabi. What is your name nowadays? So anyway, so there's that name. So let's send me that on this college email, so I could send it to the vCloud administrator. Guys, how many got this? How many got this error of you ran out of space? Yep.
Is the lease okay 6 days?
No,
Does it matter?
yes, lease is okay. Okay. Right? So, actually, the error should be showing here as well, right? In the new task, it doesn't show errors. It just says succeeded. So please, if you can take a screenshot of that, hopefully you've taken the screenshot of the error, and if possible, well, on WhatsApp normally errors can be uploaded easily, and this is photo. Oh, there's a, well, on a WhatsApp group, but okay. So mother is separately sent that here. So guys, I'll just put that in the video. Oh, sorry, in this. So if anyone got this error, yeah. Well, I hope the vCloud administrator is able to read that. If you can get a clear error shot, and what disk you gave? Okay, 200 GB. Yeah, you gave 200 GB. So I hope it's not 200 terabyte, 200 TB. Hey, anywhere else, if it was still GB but 1024 written by mistake, that would increase it to terabyte, 1 terabyte, right? So hopefully your previous machines did not have 1024, and then the GB was there, but 1024 was still written instead of 1 only, right? then it would be 1 terabyte. That is not allowed. Yeah. So by mistake, if that happened, just please check your previous machines as well, and see if any of the you change the MB to GB, but maybe if you forgot to change the 1024 to just 1.
Hello.
Mhm.
Yeah, I checked mine. CPU 2, memory 4 gig, and disk is 200
Oh,
GB.
so what's the total memory, guys? Everyone, please check your V app here. 12288 is mine. What is yours is? So in fact, that will be
My total memory is 8192 MB.
that's
That's like
and you
8
have
gig.
four machines.
Yeah, I have 3 virtual machines. Total CPU 6. Total storage 600 GB for me.
And you have 3. You don't have 4. Fourth has an error, right?
No, I have 3 virtual machines.
Oh, the fourth one has error.
Yeah, the fourth one has an error. I've sent you an email with
Oh, okay,
it.
you sent me an email. Okay.
The error message. Yeah.
So, guys, this is an official screenshot now. Even if it is less than 12,288 MB, take a screenshot because I'm going to be marking on that screenshot as well. So even if it has one machine less, it's okay. I'm not going to cut your marks for that.
What am I supposed to say now? Cancel when I got this message.
So you cannot go ahead.
Should I say cancel? Because if I say add, it's not adding up.
Oh, okay.
Should I cancel it?
So you took a screenshot already?
I mailed it to
Okay,
you.
so I hope the screenshot is clear because what I saw in the WhatsApp was not very clear. So just make sure it is clear and then cancel it.
Yes. Yeah, that one was a photo from my mobile. This is a screenshot. The mail that I sent is from the laptop.
Okay. So yeah, so just take that. Yeah, there's no other choice. So click cancel. And guys, those who just saw this message, please try to create that machine again with the same configurations. Yeah, we kind of so Ajibola is
Last thing, sir, regarding the network card we created mistakenly, you can go for details and in the virtual machines, you can add a new NIC and with your references, and you can delete the old one, or either you can just leave it as it is.
you can delete the old one and just add a new. That's okay.
Yeah, it's easy to resolve it, no problem. Okay.
And
Sorry, I have a question. Does that mean our limit is 4 VMs? Are we only allowed to create 4 VMs?
we're allowed to create actually 5, as I know, I guess.
Okay, because if what you said last goes, it means we had a class over the weekend which we created a Windows server on here. So that's what makes mine 4.
Oh, okay.
So if I delete that, I might be able to do this, but it will mean I won't be able to use this particular Vcloud for that class.
Well, we're supposed to be able to create, guys, if we have any extra machines in our V app, suppose some of us created extra machine, please delete that. If you were just practicing, please delete that, and just try to create again and see if you can get the same message again.
There's a different link for that class. There's a different link for that class. Just change the 201 to 105.
Yeah, I tried that, but I didn't have access on 105. That's why I used 201.
So if you have an extra machine, please. Oh, well, you're saying that you cannot delete it because you're using it for the other course?
Yes, the 105, I didn't have access on it. I couldn't create a virtual machine on that. Then I created it on 201.
Uh-oh. So, so the other course you should have access, and maybe that's the thing for others as well, those who are getting the error. Are you not having access in 105? That's why you created an extra machine here, and that might be causing. But maybe then everyone did that, and not everyone is getting this error.
Yes, that applies to me too.
Yeah, so error is not there for you, right? The person who said just now.
This is Ajibola. I also got the same error, and so it seems I can't create more than 4 VMs in MS201. So I'm trying to delete the virtual machine that we practiced during the Windows Server class, but the option to delete is grayed out
Then shut it down.
under actions.
Shut down and then
Try and power it off first. Okay.
So, okay guys, if we are able to create 3 machines after the break, let's carry on. We need to still work on the first machine only today. So we will not need the 4th machine for this class, but we need 4 machines total in the course. So during the week, I would suggest that you would talk to the technical support and aggressively follow up that why you cannot create 4 machines, those who got the error. And I will also, whoever email forwarded me the error, I'm going to send it to the Vcloud administrator. So you guys have to put your pressure on the technical support, and I'll be putting mine, and we need to resolve it before the next class that we could have the 4th machine, right?
Please, how do we name, what's the format to name the screenshots?
What is the format of the screenshots?
Yeah, to name the screenshots.
Oh,
You
name.
should
Yeah, so sorry, I forgot to mention that. And the name of the second screenshot is screenshot 2 equals, and that is a VApp with 4 VMs. If anyone has 3 VMs, you just put 3 VMs and 1 got error. So you can put those who got error, 3 VMs with 1 error. So, and those who did not get any, they have 4 VMs. You just put the first line. The second line I highlighted is for those who got the errors. The line before is for those who did not get the error, right? So just name it VApp with 4 VMs if you were able to create 4 VMs, or 3 VMs with 1 error if you were not able to create the 4th VM now, right? So then those who got the errors, do not use the VApp with 4 VMs, or do not write that, right? So those who got errors, write this. Alright guys, so well, it's time for break, and 15-minute break is good, or 20-minute break, or 1 week break, or whatever you want. So okay, since you insist, it's 10-minute, 20-minute, 20-minute. So finalizing that, 10-1, 22. Okay, 15. There you go. Final. So 15-minute break. So neither 10 nor 20. We'll just take the midway there, and so everyone's okay with that.
Right, sorry, excuse me. I've created the 4th VM.
Oh.
I deleted the other one, and the 4th one I was able to create it.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So guys, just like if any were able to do that, those who got the error, please, if you have an extra machine, delete that and create this one, and you should be able to create that. So please try that. Class starts at 9:15. So guys, be here, and for 9:15 we have a lot of steps to do. A lot. So I'm just using the word sharp. Okay, so let's take a break, come back at 9:15. I'm pausing the video now. Resuming. Alright, so this means that this is just the limit reached because of the extra machines, and we don't have to really then put a complaint. Those who got the error, please delete your extra machines, and 2 will get the 4th one. So that's for everyone. So I don't have to then forward that screenshots of errors to the Vcloud administrator. So hopefully everyone has resolved that, if those who got the errors, right? So this means the 3rd screenshot, you could just take it again and remove this error screenshot, and then just put that VApp with 4 VMs, right? Alright, so we're back from the break and let's get going with our first machine. Yay! Okay, so here, let's go to configure our first machine. Well, the time is, well, it's gonna fly. So, what if you go back to the diagram here, we can see that there's that basic lab 2 GB, 2 CPU, 100 GB disk. So let's just start that machine, and then we're going to do some different configurations here. So I'll just that's it. I'll just put that first machine here. So the configurations here on this machine is that the OS name will be exactly the same. It will be your first name serve01, and then the IP of that machine inside would be 192.168.200.1, and the subnet mask would be 255.255.255.0, and then gateway will be we don't have a gateway, we don't need a gateway in our environment, but we're gonna consider this machine itself as a gateway because we need to put some IP there as a gateway. Oops. So Khalid is asking, am I recording this? So yeah, I'm recording that. Thank you. Okay, so as I was saying there, the gateway is 192.168.200.1. So we're just making a fake gateway. We don't have a gateway device. Gateway device is used for what? So data leaves your network from the gateway device, and data enters from internet to your network through gateway device. So we don't have one, but we still have to give any IP there. So we're just putting this IP there as a gateway. And then PD, that's just like NYPD, right? So police department. No, it's not police, it's preferred DNS. So preferred DNS is 192.168.200.1. Why? Because we're going to install the DNS in this same machine. Suppose you had 10,000 machines, all their network card settings, preferred DNS will be just 200.1, even in 10,000 machines, right? So they will all be connecting to that server that is offering name resolution services. So in our case, server 1 will be our DNS server. So that's the IP, and then we're going to make sure that we have VMware tools installed in this machine, and then we will install Active Directory. We're going to install DNS, we're going to install DHCP. For the domain, we can just put there humber.local as the domain name. So that would be our domain name there. And then DNS and DHCP IP range would be 192.168.200.50 up to 192.168.200.100, right? So that would be our DHCP range, and then we're gonna have second machine. We're gonna install operating system there, and we're gonna join it to domain. So if we reach that today, so I did resume the recording. Thank you for following up. Because Paul asked that, I'm just gonna go back here. There you go. I resumed the recording. So if somebody asks next 2 seconds, I'm still gonna confirm that, right? So because I have white hair, I'm old. I'm turning 69 or 80 now. After 69 is 70. Just kidding. So anyway, so let's just go for our this setting, and let's start just our first machine. Yay! Okay, let's go back. So yeah, here. So we're gonna go to Vcloud, and then here we have 4 machines now, and I really need that screenshot to mark you today for that. So virtual machines, I'm just gonna go to virtual machines now. And in the virtual machine, I see your machines, but I'm just gonna go for mine. So now there are those 4 machines here, and I'm gonna go for the first machine. So let's take a screenshot of this page here where the first machine is showing, right? just take a screenshot of this page here, where first machine is showing. If second, third machine is showing, that's good enough, but the first machine. So take a screenshot number 3, and what do we call that screenshot? We call it screenshot 3. No. So it's gonna be, yes, screenshot 3 and first VM. That's it. First VM, right? So take the third screenshot. Screenshot 3 equals first VM is the name. Name that screenshot as screenshot. First VM.
I cannot see the 4 computers. I can just see the names in lines.
Oh, so when you go to Vcloud, so you cannot see the fourth machine, support machines. Are you here?
I can see lines. Yeah, just the lines.
And you can click. Oh, see this? I think it's on the right side here. This one, right? So you can click this box here, where my mouse is shivering now. So
Okay, got it.
okay, so change the view type from top right corner. Oh, there you go. Firoz also said that. So if you've taken a screenshot here, then put in that screenshot and label it as I mentioned. So it would be first VM. Okay, so let's go for the first VM. It is powered off for everyone. So there's that actions here, and you can go to this power on, right? So let's power on. Everyone's powering on? Yes. Okay, thank you for the reply. Wow, that's like everyone's running 9. Ooh, see this? Wow. Succeeded. Okay, so running 11 machine powered on. There are 27 people sitting here and only 11 powered on. That is not good. Okay, so here, once it is powered on, so you can click on this screen here. You can click on the screen so to look inside. Oh, it's running 1. Oh, so it's not like all. It's not reporting that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna click that screen here, and once you click that screen, so it should look like this. So now, guys, again, there's best practices there, right? So first of all, the best practice number 1 is we don't have any mouse here now. Okay, so if you don't have mouse, it's gonna install everything. Now you're at the mercy of the keyboard now. But if you do see a mouse there, that's okay. Otherwise, click on the screen and then press tab on your keyboard. So tab here, and there's that time and currency format, right? So instead of English United States, we need to go to English Canada. So I'm just pressing the up arrow, English Trinidad and Tobago, up arrow, until I reach Canada. Yay! So why do I have to do that? Well, it's gonna change our time zone. It's gonna correct our time. Yep.
You can also use the Alt button along with the down arrow so that it can display the options for you.
Okay, Alt down arrow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's Shabina. Okay.
Welcome.
So, yeah. So Alt down and then see where you are. So, all English Canada, and thank you for that. And then, well, if that is selected, so it's gonna just fix our time zone. If you suppose forgot that to do and press next, so it's okay. You can just, when the operating system is fully installed, you log into the administrator account, and then you have to fix it by going to the clock and control panel. So that's why we're just fixing it here. So tab, that's it. You don't have to change the keyboard or input method, just the time and currency format, the middle one, and then tab to click next. So once the tab is on next, I'm just going to tab again, and again it's on next, and then press enter or spacebar. Spacebar is that very, very long key on the keyboard. Seriously, am I telling that too? Okay, so anyway, enter, and then in install, just enter. There's nothing else, right? In install, it's just enter. There's nothing else, right? So yeah, it's Anyone has a mouse there? No? Yes? Maybe? So guys, it's the fourth one there. It is still connecting. It is slow. Okay. Class. Okay. So if you're on this page, then down arrow, down arrow, down arrow. So we need just the data center. Either you can select this dude, this option, standard server with a GUI, or this one, data center with a GUI. GUI is graphical user interface, right? So, but do not select the server core, because then it's going to be PowerShell based and you have to give commands. Basically, you have to reinstall again then, right? So go for the fourth one, which is okay. So Brahim is still connecting. Anyone still not on this page and way back? Oh, okay, no. Cool. So just go down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, and make sure that you selected server with a GUI, right? And press enter. All right or all wrong? All right. So enter. Well, okay, again. Enter. I just wanted to time it right. And seriously, what's that? Oh yeah, it's the certificate. Oh, it's just the license agreement. I thought there was an error here. So just press the spacebar key and it will accept the license agreement. Then press tab on the enter, and on the next, and enter. So we're not upgrading, we're custom installing for the first time. So down arrow key and select custom. Down arrow key and select custom. So about
Sir, Space is not working to accept the license terms because we entered enter maybe.
Press tab again 2 or 3 times and it might show you the dotted lines.
Yeah. Now it's showing.
Cool. Welcome.
Thank you.
So guys, here down arrow key. About that down arrow key, there was another class student. One student was asking what to do here. The other student told that student, "Hey, put the press the down key." So the other student said, "What?" So he said down key. So the other student got offended and said, "Hey, are you calling me donkey?" So I said, "No, down key, down key." So that was a very famous record breaker there for a long time. And that student is now in Hall of the Fame in my Hall of the Fame. So it is down arrow. I'm avoiding to say down key. Just click down. It's down arrow. So and just go there and custom install Windows Only Advanced and press enter. And we don't need to format or partition this drive. We need to format but not partition this drive. So nothing to change here, and press enter. How to click accept? So Paul, just press tab until it is surrounded by dotted lines, and yeah. So just press enter and it's gonna install now. Yay! Like, or yay. Or the plus sign. Oh, okay. Well, we did give it 2 GB RAM, right? Seriously, whose idea was that? Oh, okay, it was mine. No, it's okay, kind of. Serious? It's on 2% now? I haven't accepted the terms. Paul, it's the tab key on the keyboard. That is the only way you can, it will be selected. So, Paul, you're not able to... It is not the same infrastructure. I'm going faster than you. Oh, wow, Khalid is going faster. Hey, Khalid, did you give 2 GB RAM or did you give 22 GB RAM or something? That's my Wi-Fi.
No, it's just 2 GB RAM. I think it's depending on the Wi-Fi or the internet speed or something.
Yeah, it's kind of internet speed as well, and their underlying hardware, or whoever started first, he or she got the RAM first. And my Wi-Fi got disconnected, and it's asking time to connect now. Oh, okay. That's new. From Paul to okay, yes, the tab highlighted it, but how do I select it? Oh, the spacebar key, Paul. There's a very long key, and that's the only key on the keyboard that is very, very long, right? At the bottom of the keyboard, beside the Alt, on the left side there's an Alt, on the right side is Alt as well. Between that there's a very long key called spacebar, right? So, custom. So Shabina is on 26%, Shahabuddin is on 17, Badr is on 25, Kavita 36. I'm on 27. Guys who are ahead of me, you will not get marks. So try to slow down. Just start other machines just to slow you down. So the first should be the teacher. Spacebar, yeah. And so teacher should be ahead. If anyone's more aheader than me, that's a new word I just came up with. If you're aheader than me, then I'll start cutting your marks, right? So just report that, see my 28% here. So don't make me sad. If you make the teacher sad, that's not good for you, right? So keep it less than 28% now, because it really is bad performance here for me. Size 100 GB? Yeah, it's 100 GB, Paul. Just press enter. So cut the internet. Hit enter, Paul. Hit enter. 28. Okay, if any is good, less than 28%, you get some marks for that. Just stay 80% Shahabuddin. Okay, that's like 10 marks already gone. Forget it. So 31. I'm on 31%. You hurt my feelings really bad now. So okay, 1%. There you go. 10 marks given to Olafemi from who? Shahabuddin. Okay, marks transferred. Done. Badr, you also get it. I'm gonna grab all the marks from Shahabuddin now. He was 80%, right? He hurt my feelings. Okay, so can Samosa make it up for being ahead? Okay, now you're talking, Madhuri. So yeah. So Samosa is really good thing to, yeah, make the teacher happy. Whoa, it's 34%. Seriously? Are you kidding me? That's worst. So yeah, you guys need to be, if you are done already, then just delete your machine and start again and be behind me, right? I'm acting like Trump now, right? Too many samosas will make the tummy unhappy. No, I'm okay. I'm my tummy is samosa, too many samosa proof. And you know, guys, in Scarborough, there's a really good samosa shop. It's a samosa and sweet. No, it's Taj Mahal samosa. Taj Mahal, sweet and samosa. Wow, the samosas there are so good. It's Taj Mahal samosa. It's on Markham, and oh, you guys are not from Scarborough, I guess. So Etobicoke has also very good. Oh, Etobicoke has the best. Man, it has samosa and sweet factory. Whoa. Whew. Oh, Madhuri can home cook. Okay, that's even better. So we're all at 1%. Okay. So Shahabuddin's marks are divided among all who are less than mine. This is the worstest performance ever. 37%. I've never seen this slow. So Sandeep is in Scarborough. So yeah, you can go to Markham and what intersection? It's I forgot that. But anyway, Taj Mahal sweet samosas. So I don't have shares in that shop, but yeah, it is really good. Whew. I'm a samosa freak. I go for it. You know, I used to teach in before pandemic in that Etobicoke, Humber College, right, in North Campus. So the samosa and sweet factory is right beside there. So students used to get 50 samosa box from there. There are so many people there as if they are, just distributing it free. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So home cooked samosas will be delivered. So please, Madhuri, try to spray it with disinfectant every samosa. So just kidding. Yeah. No, don't spray. Yeah, without spray. Okay. So send your and oh, I'm hungry now. Exactly. So whenever we talk samosa jalebi, it's like whoa, serious and pakoda. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, so some of us might not even know what is samosa. What he's talking about. I mean, he was just normal just 5 minutes ago. So now he's cutting marks for us going ahead of him. 39%, guys. Seriously. Whoa, that's bad. We're gonna talk about samosas all this time. Or we could try any other dish. Yeah. Yeah, on-site classes was better. Homemade keema, samosa, they are yum. Oh, please stop. Okay, so yeah, latched on. Home ones are much better, yes. Madhuri is actually ready to home cook for every one of us, so please just send her, everyone send her address. She will send a box full of samosas to everyone actually, right? So, oh, she says yes. Okay, there you go. So, a cake too. Okay, there you go. Cake. Oh, Badr is asking what is samosa. Are you kidding me? You don't deserve any marks. If you don't know samosas, that's 50 marks already gone. Good luck with the next 50, right? If you don't know samosas, forget it. This is too much now. I've heard everything now. So, okay. So these are samosas, right? So they're like veggie samosas. There's potatoes inside and well, so these are like triangle thingy, which is tasty. That's it. Okay, so that's samosas, right? Yeah, mother, where are you from? Seriously, you don't know samosas? Okay, guys. So where is everyone? Anyone done? Don't worry, I'm not gonna cut your marks. So slurp. Yeah. Like private? What is that? Okay. Algeria. Hey, Algeria have samosa. I mean, sambosa. There they call it sambosa, right? Yeah, habibi. It's mushkila. Okay, guys. So we're talking about. Khalid, no samosa there. Oh, no samosa. Oh, okay. Windows booting. Himan is done, guys. So then we can take you for samosa party. Exactly. Guys, it's your utmost first responsibility to take brother and introduce him to samosas. He has no idea what is he missing on, right? So, okay, guys. So 100 marks cut for him on. Bikram is 58%. I actually, where am I? Oh, 48%. Bikram. Okay, so I have no, no choice now. So why are you ahead of me? Madhuri and Kavita are ahead of me. Seriously? Okay, so guys, this is the baddest performance ever. All the more reason to switch to laptops. But anyway, seriously, why did I have to start? I think you guys all start before me, right? That's the reason. So first I'm gonna explain, then I will click very, very fast so I could start first, and then I'll tell you, okay, now you can start. I will actually keep you on the screenshot. While you're taking screenshots, I will just click, right? So I could start first, and then grab that RAM and CPU, right? So I've tried reaching. Oh, okay. It's always going to his own. Oh, Ajibola, you could give me your number and I'll give it to him. He'll call you. Paul was last to start. Paul, you're done? No way. Really? Maybe we should split. We may be occupying all the bandwidth. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Ajibola, I'll give it to him. So guys, wow, serious. It's 49%. So can you please give me some bandwidth and you know, stop using the bandwidth. So anyone have a spare bandwidth, you can just send it to me. And you know, 50%, 49. Okay, Amarjeet, you lose like 5-10 marks. You're ahead of me, right? So restart going on. Okay. So why me? Seriously, I think I'm the slowest here. Hey, anyone lesser than this 49%? Fiber channel. Oh, Kavit. Okay, Kavita is using. Hey, I have a Bell connection. I have it's fiber optic at home, right? And but my kids are actually all playing games online, and my wife is watching a drama on YouTube. And she's crying as well right now. So, you know, there's some sad scene going on. So, maybe that sad scene is taking all the bandwidth as well. So, I don't know what's going on. So, anyway. Okay, so yeah, you got whole bandwidth. How? So, and Brahim done. I'm hacking. Whoa, Ajibola, serious. Don't scare me. I'm introducing. I'm gonna be introducing CEH, Certified Ethical Hacking, but I'm gonna take your promise first that you will remain ethical after going through Certified Ethical Hacking. So remain ethical after that, right? So that's the only guarantee I need. So okay, and done. No one accessing any devices at home. Oh, okay, that's why. So that's good. And all right, 54%, guys. So I think it's gonna finish tonight at certain point, or maybe at 4 a.m. I'll be again coming here. Or maybe it will finish when I'm 85 and my kids have joined the universities. In fact, when I have grandkids and they have joined universities, right? Then it might be finished at that time. So still 55%, really. So wow, seriously, 61%. Are you kidding me? Okay, guys, so dial-up connection. Paul, 49%. Okay, I mean 5 marks. Whoever finished from them, I'll just take those and give it to you. Okay, so here 68%, 69%. It's flying now. Okay, I think many of you have stopped, right? Maybe that thing, or maybe there's that sad drama still going on outside. So I don't know. Well. Serious. 78. Okay, it's kind of fast now. So dial-up connection. Yeah, Vcloud needs to be contacted. Really, yes. Finishing up. Oh, if any is finishing up. Oh yeah. So I was just waiting for all of you to finish so I could, my machine could actually fly now. Serious. So, you know, next time I'll take care of the bandwidth myself. Like, first of all, I'll click done. Then I'll tell you, okay, now you can do it. 90%. Okay, so after that miserable performance, we're going ahead. Okay, Shabuddin is done restarting. So guys, if you are done, my machine restarted. So, well, now it's 91%. Seriously. So what we can do is, so I'm just going to go to that. Now these are the tasks that need to be done. If you can take a picture of that, and if you know how to rename a machine, if you know how to put a static IP there, if you know how to put a VM tools, otherwise better do it with me. So there is time zone check. It should be correct. We are all in Bogota, right? So time zone check. And once I was saying that we are all in Bogota, and one student starts staring at me. I was like, what happened? He said, sir, my wife is from Bogota, so yeah, don't make fun of it. I was like, whoa, sorry. Then I had to change that, to some other Lima. There was Lima as well, right? So, but I was not saying Lima because I was still afraid of that student. Okay, so time zone and VMware tools. So if you know how to do that, you can actually go ahead. But those were done, right? IPv4, IPv6 uncheck. If you keep it checked, it's okay. And then IPv4 checked and static IP given. Yeah.
Sir, probably you should check now. It's just restarting.
Oh yeah, it's restarting. Hey, how do you know that? So.
We were on the same percentages.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay. That's good. So yeah, we can just be all going with the rename and IP addressing and VMware tools. So that has to be done. V6 IP port checked and static IP given. VMware tools installed. Active Directory local. Okay. So these are the things we need to do for the first machine, then the second machine, then the third machine. Are seriously? Hey. Well, second machine. How about I give it as an assignment? Just install second machine and don't do anything else, right? But the installation time should not be, it takes a lot of time, right? Well, I'll think about it. Or we can configure one machine and second machine could just take its time to get installed as well. So the thing is that we're gonna have to check this out. So if I go back here, guys, those who got it installed, are you able to click the mouse when you are logging into the administrator account? And since we're talking about administrator account, so I'll just put that administrator account there as for there's a class password here, right? So the class password is small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123, right? Or whatever you want to give, but don't forget that, or just put the class password. Wherever it asks for a password, just go for, actually, sorry, this one as well. Class password. If you put something else, it's okay. Oh, so there's no mouse support there. That's a great idea. Asking to set admin password. We can choose anything. So guys, there's a class password here. Small ABC. Oh, it's a small ABC, not caps. First small ABC, then capital ABC, then keep pressing shift 123 gives you exclamation, @ and pound sign, and then there's that simple 123, right? So so that's a class password, and I will ask you to just put class password there. If you're putting some other password, just don't forget it, right? So otherwise, just go for class password. Wherever it asks, just go for this, right? So no mouse support here, right? Okay, that's not good. So this is a class password that I'm putting there in the chat as well, and class password. Class password. So those were not added to WhatsApp. Please get added to WhatsApp, or just say hello to me and introduce yourself there. I'll just add you there. Oh, there's that screen, and I still don't have the mouse here, so I'm just gonna go for small ABC, shift 123 without shift 123 here. So and then press tab, and I'm going to go for small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1, 2, 3, and without shift 1, 2, 3, right? So class password, all right or all wrong? So should we click finish after pass? Yes. So click finish, press enter, that's it. So put the class password like this and press enter. So once you press enter, so it's just going ahead and finalizing. Now it says control plus alt plus delete to actually log in. So how to take out the mouse from here? Well, you can press control alt. Actually, no, not it doesn't work here. So I'm just gonna take out the mouse like this, just drag it out and go for this control alt button here. See this control button with your mouse, because outside of the virtual environment the mouse is working. So let's click that, and then just go inside and click and try to type if it lets you. Otherwise press tab first to go next, and tab again. Oh, there you go. So now I'm there. Small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1, 2, 3 without shift 1, 2, 3. Ready? So tab, and I'm here, right? So, and I'm gonna press enter and logging in. Yay! Okay. So this is one time we are wishing we have a mouse, right? Otherwise, when mouse is there, we're like screaming at the top of our voice. So please, yes, you were saying? Anyone got the mouse? Or maybe mouse trap or something. So guys, what actually happens is that sometimes it doesn't load the mouse, and when you restart, after that it just loads it. So it is 9:53 outside and it is 1:53 inside the machine. Seriously? Okay, it didn't change the time zone. So I need to restart this machine. So yeah.
Sir, how should we enter it? I missed that step.
Oh, well, you can just go up there to see this. There's a button here, Control Alt Delete. First of all, once you've put the password and pressed enter, then come back up here with the mouse and click that. And once you're on that screen, then you
Yeah, got it.
okay,
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
Cool. So guys, we need to actually restart this machine, and in fact we need to have the VMware tools installed inside to really have the mouse. So how about that? I'll give you as an assignment that
Sir, we can also, like from the control or delete from task manager, we can also select that shutdown option.
exact. Wow, man, you're genius. Thank you, sir. So we need to restart this machine now, right? So in the hope of getting that mouse or catching that mouse, if you want to say that way. So Control Alt Delete, and then there is that. If anyone's following, so press the tab key, and then down arrow, and then we can go to Task Manager here, right?
We also have the power option at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, sir. You can just press tab.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there's a power option here. We can go for tab there as well. Okay, so tab. Oh, there is a tab. Oh, well, I'll just tab back again. Tab, and tab. Woohoo, yay. There's a shutdown. So, yeah.
You have two options over there. If you press the arrow key, so there is shutdown and restart.
Okay, so yeah, normally we need to restart to catch the mouse, right? So that's our trap for the mouse now. So hopefully the drivers are loaded for the mouse. This is really strange. So I'm just gonna go for restart and press enter on the restart. So down arrow, up arrow, down arrow, up arrow, and I'm on the restart now and enter. And then you have to give a reason, but other unplanned is okay. Just click enter again. So just restart once and check if the mouse driver loaded or not. Otherwise, then VMware tools might load it. Not? Oh, some are already ahead. VM tools not working? Okay, let's check it out. So the first machine, if I am in the V app here, I just let it restart, but let's just come back here, guys, to the V app, and you can see that there's actions here, right? And in the actions, there's a install VMware tools, right? In the actions, there's install VMware tools. How do you select restart from the power button? Ajibola is asking. How do you? So just press the Control Alt Delete, Ajibola. See this? Yeah. So go up and Control Alt Delete first, right? And then press tab until you reach the bottom right, which is a power key showing there. I think no, it's not showing right now. So guys, I'll Control Alt Delete here, and yes, I don't have mouse, so we have to install VMware tools. Ajibola, I'm logging in now, so now you can see again what it. Maybe you're done already, or so. If you're logged in, you can just click Control Alt Delete here. See this? When this is showing there, then tab. Oh, sorry. Then click inside first, anywhere. Oh, I actually clicked the task manager. So Control Alt Delete and click anywhere else. Oh, I clicked the task manager again. Seriously? Okay. Tab. Yeah, that's how it is. You can see the tab, Ajibola. So you need to be here on this tab, the down one, this one, right? And then press enter.
Yes. Then how do you select the restart from
Then
there?
press enter once, and then down arrow key to select restart. Right?
Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks.
Alright guys, so what we are trying to check here is that how can we install VMware tools. So that's going to be another effort. See this? Well, if we can get the mouse, then today's job is done, right? So you can go back to VApp, guys. Go back to VApp and just click this install VMware tools. Go back to VApp for your first name server 01 and install VMware tools. Once you click that install VMware tools, it says here installing VMware tools. Well, but we have to confirm, is it really doing that, or it has just mounted it. So you can see that on top here, there's a pop-up that is coming, the dark one. If you were able to grab it, it's okay. Otherwise, okay, so Olafemi, see this? I'm showing you how to do that, and it's going to be even more trickier now. We need to reach with the tab, the yellow folder or the file explorer. We need to reach from the tab, the D drive, the CD-ROM within the operating system, and then we need to press enter to that. So see this? Now I'm gonna do that. So it's gonna be even more trickier now. Serious. So if I click anywhere here, right, I'll click there. So there's a tab. I need to reach way on the bottom here, here in this area, right? I need to reach here. So if I just show you with another diagram here that I can create on top of this. So I need to reach, okay, here. So I need to reach here first with the tab. Then I need to reach this guy here. Then I need to open this guy, right? Once this is open, then I need to reach to the DVD drive. And then I press enter, because if you have clicked the install VMware tools back here in the V app, then you come here and just by tab, you need to click on the DVD. And I need to reach there. It's also tricky. Once I reach there, then you install VMware tools and restart, then mouse will come here. So that really sucks. Okay, so here, guys, first of all, one more thing here that I can show you that can make it easy for us. Some of us are really technical. Actually, majority of us are technical. So see this? You need to minimize this server manager, this guy, server manager. So if you go to this area and you minimize this whole server manager here, hey, it's fun, right? See this? Cool. Oh, just kidding. So here, I'm just gonna go for just minimize this, and if you minimize this, then you can tab and reach your way here, and then you can tab and reach your way here, right? So I'm gonna try this whole thing now. First, I'm gonna try to put this server manager and minimize this so I could see the desktop area. Then I'm gonna put tab and try to reach here. Then I'm gonna try to reach here, right? And the ultimate objective is the VMware tools should be attached to the DVD. So I need to press enter DVD and then install VMware tools and restart. Once the VM tools are installed and restarted, then after restart you will see that the mouse is there. So this is first time we are really not taking mouse as a granted thing. So I'm just gonna go up here, and I need to press tab and press spacebar to check where am I. That's here. Serious. So what I can do is I can Alt F4. You know what Alt F4 do? Because I'm on this area, right? I need to close this window. So Alt F4 closes the current window. If I am here on this server manager, Alt F4. Oh, in my case, in my laptop, it is FN Alt F4. Oh, it just closed my whole window. Okay, so yeah, that was embarrassing. Okay, seriously. So guys, welcome to Vcloud again. Normally I take classes on laptops. This is not good. So if I go to Control Alt, I need to just close this server manager and go to my CD-ROM. It is confusing for some, but we're stuck with this option here. If I go here, can I close my server manager? Oh yeah, I can close my server manager from here as well, from task manager, right? There's the server manager. Plus, no, enter. So in order to close server manager, I have to actually. Seriously? Okay. End task. Oh, server manager is gone. I just reached the end task from here. Okay, let me just show you. You just run Explorer. See this? I just selected the server manager here. Then I tab my way here. Then I tab my way here, and there was an end task here. I clicked it by spacebar, and whatever I was selected here, I had selected here, and then I clicked end task here. It just closed. So server manager in the background is closed now, right? So that's what I did. Yeah, it's not that easy, guys. Maybe I will.
Yeah, it's not popping up.
The task manager.
So can you please go down on the left on the Windows icon? Just close this.
Yeah, I'll go to File.
So how did you reach onto the file option on the task manager? Because
Alt F, I think. Yeah, Alt F. And exit.
Exit it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exit it.
Now we can press.
Now go to the top or bottom left. Yeah. Now enter. No.
Yeah.
Go to Windows
guys,
icon
let me
again.
explain how it is possible. So if you press tab here, so you can see that down. Because after this it is easier. But how do I go here? See this? Once you get rid of the server manager here, then the tab will come here, and tab will come only up till here. Then you have to press right arrow key to reach here, and then press enter, right? So tab here, then right arrow key to curve. If you keep on pressing tab, it will just switch to this area. So right arrow will keep you coming here. So I'm just gonna do this now. So tab, right arrow. Now I can press enter or spacebar or enter. There you go. So now once I'm inside the Explorer, so this is like a really medieval way to do that. So if I tab, now I am inside the Explorer, and I can go down. There is my DVD here. Or I can tab here, down, and down. See this? Enter. So now the VMware tools have directly started. Otherwise, you go to setup64.exe and enter there. Setup64.exe. If you're inside the list of that. I just went tab on the other area. I jumped on that.
Or else we can also go on to the task manager, alt, and from file, new task explorer, and this window will also come up.
That would have been so easy. Thank you.
Sir, today we realize the importance of mouse.
The most important thing.
Can you please repeat, because I'm still stuck with the server manager dashboard.
Then, well, you can just go to the task manager. But first of all, guys, did we all clicked this? So yeah, the tools is there. So I'm just gonna enter the tools to enter. So it's just typical. Those who are there, I'm just showing, and then I'm just gonna come back and show again. So typical, keep it on typical, enter, and or tab, enter, and then install. That's it. Once you restart after this, you will get the mouse. So mouse is the most important thing on the planet Earth right now. Okay, but what I was saying before that, did we all do this? Actions and install VMware tools. This is the most important thing. If you have clicked for the first machine, install VMware tools like this, then we can just go to, now let's make it a bit more easier. Let's go to Control-Alt-Delete. If I restart now, I'll get the mouse, but here Control-Alt-Delete, and then there's a task manager, right? So we can do it a bit easier as well. And task manager, tab, and press spacebar, right? And wrong volume in the drive. Okay, which is okay, because okay, let me just continue. Okay, so here we just need to, if you're on the task manager, I'm going to press tab again. So I'm on more details now, right? If I press tab again, I'm on more details. I'm pressing spacebar. So it's tab and spacebar. And then it opens up, right? If it opens up, then there's a Alt F key that opens this. See? Alt F, that opens this. Alt F opens this. Then we go to new task. New task is already selected here. So I'm going to press enter on the new task. So Alt F, then new task, I press enter. And I want to go straight to tab, browse. Wow. And I press spacebar here. Tab, browse. And wow, it takes us to, and then tab. I just need to go to there. Spacebar, press right arrow key, it will expand. Press right arrow key here, it will expand, right? And then there's a DVD here. So thank you whoever told me that. I'll just go tab again. Oh, well, that's not, I'm gonna press enter. Now I'm inside this. So once you're on the DVD, press enter and tab again, and this is a setup. Whew, seriously. Wow. So you press enter, and then it starts again. I'll press enter and enter again. Well, I don't need to actually start again, but okay. So I need to click in the background, and actually I need to restart. So guys, anyone was able to restart? And anyone got the mouse after that? Anyone caught the mouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Caught the mouse. Khalid caught the mouse. You're gonna throw it out, right? Long time ago. Wow. Okay. Paul, under more details on the taskbar, where do we click?
So my server closed in between. So like, how should I click to it again?
Start again, and then can I start over? Like,
Sir, is it typical installation complete or custom for VMware?
There is no option to start
okay, so what exact stage are you talking about?
the local disk. C. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so you can just put a screenshot and I can tell you what to do.
I'm on the main screen.
Okay.
I'm on the main screen of virtual machines now. The server has closed.
Main screen of the virtual.
Which setup to select? Excuse me.
You're here, right?
Yeah.
So you can just click on this and you will see here.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir.
So those who got the mouse already, please shut down your machines and upload your files to Blackboard. Those who did not got the mouse, this is your assignment to play throughout the week. And have your team finish
Sir, after the installation, is it just next, and then finish? Okay.
Hello, sir. Which setup to select? Setup only setup or setup 64?
You said if you got the mouse, shut down the machine and upload what to Blackboard.
Yeah, so if you got the mouse, then just shut down the machine. And then just upload the 3 or 4 streams.
To this email address or to Blackboard?
Oh. Sorry, today's one?
You wrote an email address. Is it that email address?
Sir, I am not getting the taskbar in the VM inside the. After logging in, I'm not getting
And
to
it's
see the
saying
task.
reconnecting for me.
Reconnecting. Okay. So this means that guys, those who are having issues, you have your team viewer installed the software. So got the mouse can restart.
Yes.
Yeah, the mouse and got the mouse. Then shut down. Let me just write that. Shut down your VMs and upload your screenshots to Blackboard. I am now creating a link, and then those who are stuck can stay and will help you, right? Now, so please wait. So guys, because it's 10:13, oh, seriously, it's 10:13. So I'm just going to I'll quickly go for that Blackboard, and I need to create week 2 quickly, okay, so that's week 2, and 01June2020 So guys, those who are done, go to week 2, and I'm uploading. I'm creating an upload link. Oh, week 2 upload, and then there is that due date, and I'll bring it to Tuesday, tomorrow night, midnight. Submission details. You can submit 2 attempts. Okay, last credit attempt will be done. The rest is okay. So those who are done, upload your. So see, just week 2 upload within week 2. Go and upload there, and bye bye. Right? The others, then let's check it out. So I'm just gonna pause now, or I'll stop the video.